offended a number of times, and even we lost almost all our properties. And so we are now struggling to get even our lands for us to be able to put up some structures to accommodate Parliament. Many of you don't know that even the residence of the Speaker was almost sold to private sector. Actually, it was given out. It's when they went to register that Lands Commission identified that that is the residence of the Speaker. Luckily, I was inside, so it was saved.
John Mahama says he has a new idea. And what is the new idea? He says he wants a 24-hour economy. 24-hour economy. He doesn't even understand that policy. Today in Ghana, our hospitals work 24 hours. Our electricity company works 24 hours. Our water company works 24 hours. Our phone companies work 24 hours. Many job bars work 24 hours. Isn't it? Today, because of digitalization, the banks, you can transfer money 24 hours. You can receive money 24 hours. Isn't it? So he doesn't understand his own policy. It does not make sense. And I want you to vote in 2024 for Dr. I will bring a new vision. I will bring new policy. And we will transform this country. Johama is the past. Dr. Bawumia is the future. If Dr. Mahama was there, we would still be having a doomsday economy. You can't have 24-hour economy with doomsday. So you want to vote for Dr. Bawumia in 2024. We will take the country to new heights. Salamu alaikum.
24 hours. You can buy electricity 24 hours. But because of digitalization, you can transfer money for 24 hours. You can receive money for 24 hours. There are many chop bars that are open for 24 hours.
And when we pass the law, inshallah, in the next few months, we are going to make sure that it is in the law. We are going to make sure every year at least that money, the equivalent of $50 million, will be in that fund every year, so that no government can come and say there is no money for Zongo development. It will be in the law, and we will make sure it happens, inshallah. And we also promise that, inshallah, we will begin the payment for Arabic tutors. And inshallah, we hope to do so this year in 2017 under this budget. So we are beginning to do a lot of things. We know that there is an outstanding promise also, and we will fulfill it, that we will make sure Arabic is an examinable subject in JSS and SS exams in this country. And we are going to make sure that is done, inshallah. And when we pass the law, inshallah, in the next few months, we are going to make sure that it is in the law. We are going to make sure every year at least that money, the equivalent of $50 million, will be in that fund every year, so that no government can come and say there is no money for Zongo development. It will be in the law, and we will make sure it happens, inshallah. And we also promise that, inshallah, we will begin the payment for Arabic tutors. And inshallah, we hope to do so this year in 2017 under this budget. So we are beginning to do a lot of things. We know that there is an outstanding promise also, and we will fulfill it. That we will make sure Arabic is an examinable subject in JSS and SS exams in this country. And we are going to make sure that is done, inshallah. And when we pass the law, inshallah, in the next few months, we are going to make sure that it is in the law. We are going to make sure every year at least that money, the equivalent of $50 million, will be in that fund every year, so that no government can come and say there is no money for Zongo development. It will be in the law, and we will make sure it happens, inshallah. And we also promise that, inshallah, we will begin the payment for Arabic tutors. And inshallah, we hope to do so this year in 2017 under this budget. So we are beginning to do a lot of things. We know that there is an outstanding promise also, and we will fulfill it. That we will make sure Arabic is an examinable subject in JSS and SS exams in this country. And we are going to make sure that is done, inshallah. And when we pass the law, inshallah, in the next few months, we are going to make sure that it is in the law. We are going to make sure every year at least that money, the equivalent of $50 million, will be in that fund every year, so that no government can come and say there is no money for Zongo development. It will be in the law, and we will make sure it happens, inshallah. And we also promise that, inshallah, we will begin the payment for Arabic tutors. And inshallah, we hope to do so this year in 2017.
Nanado and Baumia said they will pay their allowances. I beg you, Nanado and Baumia, if you are hearing me, we are here in Krobo, nursing training school. They say 2 years now you haven't paid them their allowances. Let the alawa come. And this time, the lies won't work. This time, the propaganda won't work. This time, the deception won't work. This time, the dishonesty won't work. The people elected you to serve them, not to lord it over them. And so one of the things we don't want to see in the next NDC government, we don't want to see arrogance. The people are suffering, and so you must be. We don't want to see people driving Rolls Royces and things when people cannot get food to eat.
Poultry, nkoko ejuma no. Emo, anwa, esichire, tomato. And you obey num. Ye crab ye $2 billion. $2 billion any de cra san your mano eba Ghana ha. And so Ghana so a ye nyoma ebetimi aye yankasa ewo ha. Enti ye de muama poultry fo a na wo se enyoma poultry na ye di fi abonte ba no ye ma esote na NDC aban wo so no omo de poultry na efi amano ne ba no ye catch them say answer ne ebe penny ama wo de poultry efi abrochi aba no e wo say wo kire say poultry no wato efi Ghana poultry farmers ni bi asa na wo de abrochi de na beka ho ye ema poultry a di fi amano ne no esote ye enso ye fi aban mu eno mo ebue kwan ebiom ama omo na nipa ne bebre a omo ye MPP fo a omo ema MPP amanyoko ne sika no omo ka poultry importers no ho enti na omo mpese omo twa poultry na efi abonten ba no ye de ye nye poultry importers poultry farmers e wo Ghana ha e na omo hu hiaye enti ne ebe ye bia se omo adwuma betumpon no nyame adom NDC ba ye no mbetra ho ni asa peja poultry adwuma no na abeye krabehwe e wo Ghana ha.
In this land of opportunity, there is very much we can do. There is much we can do even now to turn things around. And I am heartened that my recent suggestion of operating a 24-hour economy in Ghana has been heard by the finance minister, as he mentioned in his recent budget statement, in the form of what he called the ninth economy. However, my idea of a 24-hour economy goes beyond just a ninth economy, which is to boost tourism, as explained by the Honorable Ken Ofori-Atta. I envision a 24-hour economy where hospitality facilities, filling stations, manufacturers, construction companies, garbage collection companies, mining and extractive industries, agro-processing industries, harbors and ports, financial services, digital startups, and BPOs will operate preferably a 3-shift system 24/7 in an atmosphere of safety and security. Heightened security needed for a 24-hour economy will also provide for safer cities and thereby, in effect, boost tourism. This 24-hour economy initiative I propose will be voluntary. It will not be imposed. Businesses will be encouraged to sign up with tax incentives provided for them and enhance security and lower electricity tariffs after peak hours. Special meters will be employed to provide what is known as time of use tariff to deliver cheaper power to such businesses during especially the hours of 10 a.m. and 6 a.m. The 24-hour economy I propose is for jobs, jobs, and more jobs. And to render it simply, ejuma no Kofi beye bi, na Sali Fonso aye bi, na Enyonam aye bi, na Kote onso aye ne aka no.
World. And I'm giving you a big title because actually you advise a lot of these companies that are involved in nighttime business, correct?
That's correct, yeah. There's so many sectors that can see growth and possibility in the nighttime economy, the 24-hour economy, and they're all looking for some suggestions and indications as to how they take this forward and grow their business.
I'm struck by the numbers, really. I mean, we push these numbers out sometimes without thinking about them very much, but 1 in 8 jobs, just London now, we're talking about 723,000 workers. Yep. That is a big machine.
Absolutely, and it's only going to get bigger. Our research indicates that you're getting towards 800,000 in the next few years, and if the 24-hour economy really takes off, and you look at the indirect jobs that will be created as well, you can get to 1.2 million.
And very big growth in terms of trade figures, in terms of some of the estimates. It can go up another $3–4 billion over the next few years. But yep. Let's talk about what is a nighttime economy. A lot of people hear it and they think, okay, it's just jobs and music clubs and other clubs.
What we've tried to do is to kind of refocus the debate away from just the perception that nighttime economy is nuisance, it's noise, it's antisocial behaviour, it's people turning out of clubs and bars and restaurants at 3 o'clock in the morning and causing trouble. The nighttime economy, the 24-hour economy, is so much broader than that.
What, for example?
The biggest single employer in this space is transport and logistics. You know, if you're someone who gets your groceries delivered to your house at 11 o'clock at night, you know, you are supporting the nighttime economy. Those drivers from all of those different supermarket chains have their rounds to do, then they have to go back to the depot, leave the vehicle. How do these people get home? The 24-hour tube is just one of the aspects that will make that a smoother process and enable more use to be made of assets, infrastructure, of private companies and public companies.
This is right across Europe, it's through Asia, and it's through North America now, and growing. And I've heard that some of the role of that nighttime mayor isn't just somebody who works late at night, but in fact he processes complaints differently. When you do have some social friction, between people in a residential area and people in a commercial area. Is that right?
So as part of our work, we brought together a table of maybe 25, 30 different businesses who all had a point of view on the 24-hour economy. And that included modern disruptors like Airbnb and Uber, and it included some of the very long-standing residential landlords, Shaftesbury Estates and Soho Estates. And we tried to talk about some of those issues around noise and disrupted sleep in a more positive way.
How do you do that? I mean, talk about it in a more positive way. It sounds almost like a slogan, because I live in central London.
Yep.
People spill out into my residential area on the weekends from clubs and elsewhere, and it's noisy, and I'm trying to put kids to sleep. So how do you minimize the friction? And is it a question of geographic minimizing, where you say, okay, nighttime activities move to this neighborhood and daytime residential are in that neighborhood? You can't do that, can you?
You can't do that. And I think, one of the challenges is fast disruption. So you'll find, hopefully, that with the night tube going and more lines coming on stream, those crowds are sort of disappearing more quickly. They're not standing around arguing about a taxi or a night bus. They know that they can get 3/4 of their journey home done in an instant with a travel card that they already own. And if you extend the nighttime economy, it's not just about drinking. Maybe it's extra runnings of a theatre, of a show, of an exhibition. You wouldn't expect that crowd necessarily to be pouring out quite so loudly.
Is there a cost to the daytime economy? I mean, I remember the old debate about Sunday openings and closings and whether you should move business to Sundays and make it more convenient for people to shop. But at the same time, people said, okay, you get them shopping on Sunday, but then they just bought the same thing they might have bought on Thursday or Friday. Is it the same with moving business to the nighttime? Do you just take away from the daytime economy?
I think the reality is that London's getting bigger. The population is growing. And if you try to squeeze the same, the increased number of people into the same outlets, whether it's restaurants, pubs, whether it's...
What is the difference between the ordinary thief and a political thief? Number one, the ordinary thief steals your money, your bag, your watch, and your jewelry, isn't it? But the political thief steals your future, your career, your education, your health, and your business. Number two, the hilarious part is that the ordinary thief will choose whom to rob. But you are the one who choose the political thief to rob you. Because we choose them. We vote them. We blindly say we are not blind. Who is deceiving who? The ridiculous part of the whole issue is that we will fight to defend and protect our belongings from the ordinary thief. Is it not? But we fight each other to defend and protect the political thief. Is that not what we do? Thugs will be fighting themselves to protect those that are stealing our career, stealing our job, stealing our health, stealing our success. What a shame.
If you reach a certain stage in life and there is nobody who can look you in the eye and tell you the truth, you are doomed. And that is where our country has gotten to. We need to rescue this country. Wallahi. And I feel very terrible as a Ghanaian at this time. This country is in serious trouble, ladies and gentlemen. We are in serious trouble. We need to rescue this country, ladies and gentlemen. The presidency has been so depraved, so muddied, so dirtied, that I tell you in all sincerity as a Ghanaian, that I feel terribly sad today as a Ghanaian. We need to rescue this country. Wallahi. Inshallah.
Please don't cry.
We shall rescue our country. This country is in serious trouble, ladies and gentlemen.
Government is broke, government is broke. The people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are two types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now and borrow money of the future and eat it now. Government is broke, government is broke. But people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are two types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now and borrow money of the future and eat it now.
Right, hello, good morning and welcome to the show. This is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. It's a Thursday, the 23rd day of November 2023. By His grace, we're live and we're here to another edition of the show. Our gratitude to go to Most High God for the rare privilege of being alive and, of course, the opportunity of having another conversation around the top stories making rounds here in our dear Republic. I'll let you into our panel for the morning's conversation shortly. But let's take a look at the front pages of our newspapers. Daily Graphic. Energy transition. We won't stop oil exploitation. Minister. 11.6 billion cedis allocated to settle contractors' arrears. Safety of pre-tertiary students. Sexual harassment policy in full force. Ghana records trade surplus from 2.3 billion deficit to 2.4 billion. Ghanaian Times. Akosombo Dam spillage relief efforts. Government spends 40 million cedis on victims. Additional funds to be released after needs assessment. Chief of Staff. At graduation of 344 police cadet officers, use laid down rules to address grievances. VIP. GRA confiscates 7.5 million Ghana cedis illicit tobacco products. 4 die, others injured in ethnic conflict at Nkwanta. Daily Guide. Drop Nana, NDC Caucus tells Mahama. Accident claims 9 lives in Ho. Bawumia and skinned Unity Chief. Government reintroduces visa on arrival. Coup and court plotters face judgment January 2024. A new crusading guide. Government to create 4,000 jobs through Busumi Freho Community Mining Scheme. Deputy Lands Minister. Court restrains Domahini from attending burial rites of Dasi Bredi Uwo II. No one will be left behind. Floods committee assures victims. Mediama begs president to fulfill 1 million Ghana cedis promise. Bawumia eyes Bono regions for running mate. Hey. We'll work together to deliver in team to Northern NPP. The insight. Martin Pebu, he says 2024 budget means nothing when cocoa sells for 3 cedis and Kenke 5 cedis. Education Ministry unveils harmonized prospectus for SHS and TVET admissions. Konfanoche Teaching Hospital cries over lack of mammogram machine to handle breast cancer cases. Nongwes Gbobu Ulomo Shiche denies setting up committee over late Gamanya. US embarks on proxy war against Iran. The Daily Statesman. Ghana secures borders amid sub-regional threats. President. Napo, we won't relent on Ghanaian content drive. Nairi urges Bawumia to help unify Boku factions. No one will be left behind. Flood victims assured. Business Finder. Telcos paid 6.07 billion cedis to government in 2022. Engineer Dr. Ashigwe calls for duty and tax waivers. Cost of support to flood victims rises to 40 million cedis. Chief of Staff. Trust Hospital poised to sustain quality health care. Daily Post. You can rubbish Mohammed's 24-hour economy, but voters will buy it. Dr. Asa Asante to Bawumia. Gosu Paramount Chief endorses Mohammed's 24-hour economy proposal. Oh. Is it the chief who was crying? Oh. Nana Kafra. The 24-hour economy is feasible, says Dr. Richard Amwakuba. 24-hour economy, not about night fufucho bars. Nimwe Thompson Schools, Bawumia. And that's about it for the front pages. We'll be back shortly.
Pascal is showing his boss the efficient new technology they've installed. She is pleased, but now she's asking, why is that still there? Pascal explains that he hired a security guard to protect the data shed. The boss is not so pleased anymore. If you haven't upgraded to cloud storage yet, it's time to get business done better with MTN Business.
Mommy.
Michelle say, fe.
Different era, better result. Time has changed and time has brought Kel Choco Toothpaste. Healthy gums, anti-cavity, fresher breath, and it whitens teeth. Kel Choco Toothpaste. Sankofa.
Yenchi. Kel Choco Toothpaste.
Happy smile.
This advert is FDA approved.
Ready for something refreshing and great tasting? For your kids' enjoyment?
Angel Cola.
For your graduation enjoyment?
Angel Cola.
Beach hangout?
Angel Cola.
For all your refreshing moments?
Angel Cola.
For your parties, get-togethers, events, and celebrations, enjoy a chilled bottle of Angel Cola. Radio Grandma, today is your day. Over to you.
Thank you. Enjoyment Cola.
Angel Cola.
The Enjoyment Cola. Enjoy all your moments and fun time with Angel Cola. This advert is FDA approved.
Enjoy the fruits of your labor, they say. But as humans, aging and physical infirmity stands our way of enjoying our mansions and homes. It often becomes challenging, if not impossible, to use our stairways day in, day out. With portable American pneumatic vacuum elevators, PVs, you are assured of unlimited enjoyment of your mansions and homes. It's a self-supported elevator for vertical movement of humans and goods at homes and offices. The original comes in 3 custom-made models with wheelchair accessibility. Call it luxury, but it's a necessary imperative for vertical mobility. Do not let aging or infirmity limit you. Get one for your easy vertical mobility at home. It's affordable and can be installed in just 3 days without modification to your existing building. It's however easier to incorporate it at the construction stage. We also have traditional Fuji elevators and escalators for your high-rise buildings and malls. Visit Lifts and Elevators Company Limited at Sakumono for your elevators nationwide. For free consultation to call or WhatsApp us on 0200-535-515. Lifts and Elevators, the elevator people.
Inside Blackstar Press Limited, grow inside the invective minds, evolving concepts and the creative trends. The printing press you need now. Witness the beauty, diversity and natural wonder with our works. Inside Blackstar Press Limited, in association with Lionhead Group of Companies. Call us now on 0200-880-000 for all your print works. Blackstar Press Limited, a worldwide reputation for quality printing.
In life, choice is good, but choice plus safety is way better. Your safety and comfort is paramount. Under the cylinder recirculation model, you can buy LPG in a safe environment. All cylinders are inspected and maintained to the best safety standards, so your safety is assured. Just take your empty cylinder to the nearest exchange point and swap it for a filled cylinder. Different cylinder sizes will be available to meet your pocket size. Imagine cooking in a smoke-free environment. This will improve the health and well-being of you and your family. Choose LPG in a safer model of distribution. Cylinder recirculation model, securing your safety, creating more jobs. A message from the National Petroleum Authority under the patronage of the Ministry of Energy.
Hey, give it to me! Hey, man! Go! One time! Stop! Ah, enough you guys, so continue!
Prepare yourself to unleash even more moolah by staking from 1 Ghana cedi to 350 Ghana cedis. And you could win 26 times your stake on the exciting new Pick 1 game from Game Park. Play by dialing *946# on all networks via our website or download the Game Park app on www.gameparkgames.com. Choose your Pick 1 number from 1 to 36. Place your stake and watch our live draws on Adum TV at 9 a.m., 12 p.m. and 6 p.m. daily.
Hey, live life like me with Game Park. Game Park, more moolah, more power.
This game is regulated by the National Lottery Authority, not for persons under 18. Play responsibly.
They say, you see, you call cashless. They get cashless here. You say, you can be a office. You see, the power up back. And also, another will be beer. Set up auto credit. Set up auto credit and do our issue. So, what problem be up as a issue for everything? He answer over power up. So, and one on back to us and be up. So, only smartphone and money how. And there's only data and so and it's you will bring. And one said, who bring your young phone? Oh, sorry. Who bring your phone? No one direct *226#. You are through there. You see the power up, no? Mobile money, Visa card, Mastercard, a BH you never see BH. You see the power up. I want to show a down some. It's simple.
We are back bringing you the latest lineup from Betway. Betway starts strong with their front two with Free Play Friday and Swipe Bet. In the middle, you've got all the control with Cash Out and Build a Bet. Plus, with Win Boost, you can boost your sports bet. At the back, they have Smart Picks and the Partial Daily Jackpot.
You always get way more with Betway.
As you can see.
This advert has been vetted and approved by
Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana live on Metro TV. With me on the show this morning, I have the Director of Communications of the MPP, Richard Ayaba. Richard, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Also with me on the show this morning is the National Communications Officer of the NDC, Sammy Jemfi. Sammy, good morning.
Good morning.
Right. Okay, so let's start off by getting some good news from MTN. And imagine getting rewarded for doing something you already do every single day. Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, that's exactly what Momo Season is all about. There's something for everyone. Download the Momo app on Play Store or App Store and use Momo Pay for your day-to-day transactions. Chant that through the QR code or merchant ID and stand the chance of winning 1,000 Ghana cedis weekly and other amazing prizes. And win. Keep using your Momo Pay on the Momo app and get rewarded. There are lots and lots of exciting prizes for everyone. So what are we doing today? Transact more with Momo Pay, earn more points and win big this Momo Season. So visit momomerchantapplication.mtn.com.gh, momomerchantapplication.mtn.com.gh for your Momo for Business account today. It's Momo Season, so just Momo it with Momo Pay. Terms and conditions apply. And if you're having problems getting your kids to appreciate the need to brush their teeth twice daily, perhaps because they do not like the taste of the toothpaste, there's Kel Kids toothpaste flavored with strawberry that gives a perfect taste for kids and makes them develop a personal attitude and love for brushing their teeth always. Kel Kids toothpaste protects child's gum, prevents cavities, and makes their teeth strong and healthy with freshness all day. Kel Kids toothpaste is recommended for children between 2 and 6 years. It's a product from Samara Company Limited of SASO and is approved by the Food and Drugs Authority. Kel Kids, happy, smile. And enjoying the fruits of your labor is as important as enjoying the mansions of your labor. The pains of climbing the stairs when not exercising could be challenging for all ages. But worry no more. Lift and elevators have got you covered with the best portable American pneumatic vacuum elevators on the market today. It's a simple self-supported elevator for both home and offices. And guess what? It can lift your goods too. Wheelchairs can fit in, and they come in 3 custom-made models. It's affordable and can be installed within 3 days. Visit Lift and Elevators at Sakumon or just call them on 0200-535-515 or send a mail to elevators@gmail.com for consultations and the best solutions in easy vertical movements. And let's wrap up with alternative medicine. And I want to speak to you about the Amen Alternative Medical Hospital, which is one of the best alternative medicine hospitals in Ghana today. For all your health consultations, counseling, physiotherapy, and homeopathic medicine, Amen Alternative Medical Hospital is the best for you. It is the first to modernize herbal and homeopathy medicine in Ghana. They have the best medical practitioners from KNUST with a state-of-the-art medical equipment curated for your need. The most obscure ailments can be diagnosed and taken care of. Amen Alternative Medical Hospital is at Klagon on the Lashibia Shaman Road near the Underbridge. And they are open from 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. That's Monday to Saturday, and from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Sundays. You can call them on 0207-229-505 or 0244-227-192 to book your appointments. Amen Alternative Medical Hospital. God is the healer. All right. So, gentlemen, it appears that the campaign has started. Yes, the campaign has started. And currently, I think there are 2 issues that have become the topical issues as far as the campaign is concerned. And the flag bearer of the NDC is on the Bono areas. And the flag bearer of the MPP is also up north. I think he was in Northeast and is moved into the northern region. But there are 2 issues that have come up, and I would want us to look at them. One has to do with a teacher licensure exam, and the second one has to do with a 24-hour economy. Okay. Now, so I hope that both of you are aware of Fact Check Ghana. Fact Check Ghana. You are both aware of them. Yeah. Fact Check Ghana. What they do is really they fact check statements and claims that are made by people. Now, on the issue of the teacher licensure exams, this is what Fact Check Ghana has posted. I'm going to read exactly what they have done. It's a 3-page thing, and then I'll take your views on the issue and whether this settles the issue, whether it settles the debate. For me, okay, I was going to express an opinion. For me, this really is about whether licensure means licensing exam. That's what I think this settles. But the issue of whether we need a licensing exam or not, for me, is still on the table for a discussion. Okay. Now, so this is the report by Fact Check Ghana. It says, on November 17, 2023, presidential staffer Dennis Edward Abuaji shared a post on X, formerly Twitter, suggesting that former President John Mahama had contradicted himself on his stance on the cancellation of the teacher licensure exams. The post was a collage of a photo of the former president making the promise of cancelling the teacher licensing exam, and a 2016 news story from Graphic Online announcing the commencement of teacher licensing. The former president and flag bearer of the opposition, NDC, has been firm on the position on the licensure exams since he began his Building Ghana tour. The post by Mr. Abuaji suggesting that teacher licensing exams started in 2016 has led to media reports about John Mahama contradicting himself. It says on Monday, November 20, the Daily Guide newspaper carried on its front page a story titled Mahama Goofs over Teachers' Licensure Exams. The story sided with Mr. Abuaji's suggestion, adding that Mahama has landed in a political somersault his previous administration introduced. The newspaper story was also published online. According to the Graphic Online story that Mr. Abuaji referenced, the acting chief inspector of the National Inspectorate Board, NIB, Dr. Augustine Teria, announced that from the beginning of the 2016-2017 academic year, all newly recruited teachers will have to be licensed before they will be allowed to teach. The story further read that, quote, those who are already in the teaching service, who are professional teachers, will be streamlined, while those who are not professional teachers will be given temporary licenses for 3 years. End of quote. The news story also indicated that a good appraisal report, including punctuality and regularity, effective serving on committees were other criteria that would qualify a teacher to be licensed in Ghana. In 20, there is exams for license under Mahama. There's a question, fact check Ghana is posting, and it says in 2012, the pre-tertiary teacher professional development and management policy was launched to outline clear standards which will govern the development and management of pre-tertiary teacher education in Ghana. The policy states that the career structure of a professional teacher will include the following. 1. All beginning teachers shall undergo induction and attend required initial insert INSERT programs within the first year of their teaching career. 2. Beginning teachers shall be eligible for licensed teacher status after the completion of the induction and required initial insert programs. License for licensed teachers shall be provided from the NTC, National Teachers Council, upon submission of a certified teaching portfolio, which shows evidence of achieving standards expected after undergoing induction and required insert programs. This for professional teachers. Then it says this, for non-professional teachers, the policy states that 1, the NTC shall issue a provisional license to non-professional teachers. 2, a non-professional teacher shall initially be required to renew the provisional license by the end of the second year of service. Renewal of the license shall be subject to an appraisal by the NTC. Non-professional teachers are required, that's 3, non-professional teachers are required to obtain the minimum qualification for licensing, that is diploma in basic education, to be a beginning teacher by a period of time determined by the NTC. Subsequently, in 2014, the NTC announced the rollout of a procedure in line with a new teachers licensing policy under the Education Act 2008, Act 778, Section 9C of the Education 2008, Act 778 mandates the National Teaching Council to periodically review professional practice and ethical standards for teachers and teaching. Section 9D also mandates the National Teaching Council to register teachers after they have satisfied the appropriate conditions for initial licensing and issue the appropriate license. In 2016, the Ministry of Education, through the National Teaching Council, reviewed and modified the framework on career progression to fully operationalize the registration and licensing of teachers. The Ministry of Education outlined in its 2016 midterm expenditure framework that the National Teaching Council was piloting the procedure for the licensing of teachers in 5 districts, namely Shai Osudoku, Upper Manya Krobo, Ejumako Enyane Siam, Kasina Nankana East, and Savelugu Nanton. It was against this backdrop that the licensing of teachers was announced in 2016 as reported by Graphic Online. Based on these sources, Fact Check Ghana indeed found that the government in 2016 made arrangements to kickstart the issuance of licenses to graduate teachers. However, Fact Check Ghana found no evidence to support the claim that teachers were required to sit for an exam to get a license in 2016. Maybe I should repeat that again. It says, based on these sources, Fact Check Ghana indeed found that the government in 2016 made arrangements to kickstart the issuance of licenses to graduate teachers. However, Fact Check Ghana found no evidence to support the claim that teachers were required to sit for an exam to get a license in 2016. Then it moves on to first teachers licensure exams. It says the first teachers licensure examination was conducted in Ghana from September 10, 2018 to September 12, 2018. The examination was targeted at candidates who completed colleges of education in 2018 or those who studied education in various universities and colleges and desired to be employed by the Ghana Education Service. The licensure examination was mentioned in the revised Pre-Tertiary Teacher Professional Development and Management Policy 2018. The policy document was put together by the Ministry of Education and the National Teaching Council with support from Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA. According to the policy document, the introductory phase of the exams was supposed to take place from September 2018 to August 2023. To further emphasize the idea of writing exams for a license, the Education Regulatory Bodies Act 2020, Act 1023, which is the amended version of the Education Act 2008, Act 778, states that teachers must sit for licensure examination. Specifically, Section 60B of the Education Regulatory Bodies Act 2020, Act 1023, mandates the National Teaching Council to conduct examination for the licensing of persons who successfully complete teacher education programs. Section 60C of the Act mandates the Council to issue licenses to persons who pass the examination conducted by the Council. This is the first time conducting licensure examinations was emphatically mentioned as part of the functions of the National Teaching Council. In conclusion, while the announcement of licensure of teachers was made in 2016, and the then John Mahama-led government made arrangements to roll it out, there is no evidence to support claims that teachers were required to sit for an exam to get a license. The writing of exam for teachers' license rather began in 2018 under the Akufo-Addo-led government. Does this settle the issue of writing of an examination in order to get a license to be employed as a teacher by the government of Ghana? That's it, Sammy.
Well, I think that it settles one fact, which is that this whole issue of licensing of teachers is not the innovation or the brainchild of the current MPP, Akufo-Addo Bawumia government. That even before they took office, in 2008, a law was passed called the Education Act, Act 778, requiring the National Teaching Council to license and register teachers. And that in line with this law, the ex-while NDC Mahama government commenced a piloting of the licensing of teachers in 5 districts. Parliament was informed. Paragraph 635 of the 2016 budget statement, read by the then Minister for Finance, Honorable Setekpe, for and on behalf of the government of Ghana, was emphatic that a pilot scheme towards the licensing of teachers was being implemented in 5 districts. What is instructive in this publication is that, contrary to what this government is currently implementing, that licensing regime the NDC Mahama government was implementing was not based on examination. Because you see, teaching is a professional work. And if you want to determine whether a person is a good teacher, for us, the determination should not be a 2-hour or 3-hour or 4-hour examination. It's not about chewing and pouring and passing the 2-hour examination in pedagogy, numeracy, and literacy. That is not what makes a person a good teacher. But it is how effectively the person teaches. And you can determine that not through examination, but through periodic and regular appraisals. And so we said, once you complete a college of education and graduate as a teacher, we will post you automatically. You will be employed and paid as a teacher. There will not be any national service for you to undertake, like is currently the case. And once you pass out, you'll be given a temporary license for a period of 3 years, posted, monitored, to ensure that you are teaching effectively. So we said, we are going to look at your regularity, your punctuality, the effective teaching, the career development programs you are undertaking, and so on and so forth. You read all that in the publication. I don't want to repeat. These were the conditions that we were going to consider in licensing teachers. These people came, our friends in the NPP who are ruling Ghana today, and changed the whole concept and said, no, as for them, they are not going to be licensing teachers and renewing those licenses based on an appraisal of their work, but rather based on a licensure examination that teacher trainees must write after they graduate from school. And we have always maintained that that policy is needless, it is obnoxious, it is grave injustice against teacher trainees, it is not fair, it is unjustifiable, it is unacceptable, and must be abolished. And that is why President Mahama and the NDC have been consistent that when given the opportunity to govern this country, we will abolish it. You see, but as mischievous as the NPP and their media surrogates are, immediately President Mahama said we will abolish licensure examination. They went to town with lies that, oh, he says he's coming to cancel licensing. I even heard your good friend on Good Evening Ghana making the same mischievous comments, Paul Adomotre, that, oh, we are saying that teachers should not be licensed. Are we not licensed as lawyers? Are doctors not licensed? When the conversation has never been about licensing teachers. Because as you rightly read, licensing teachers is one thing. Licensure examination is another. You can license a professional without examination. And that is what we started piloting at Shahid Usuduku and 4 other districts, as you read out. Doc, I am a lawyer. I did not write a licensure examination before I got licensed to be a lawyer. The president is a lawyer. He did not write a licensure examination before he was licensed to practice as a lawyer. In fact, he never sat in a classroom to even study law. He never wrote a law examination. But because at the time we had this apprenticeship system, they could be assigned to mentors to teach them the law. And that is how he got his license to practice as a lawyer. And today the NPP celebrates him. And in fact, he has a number of constitutional cases in his name. When he never sat in a class to be taught law, he never wrote a law examination. Yet through apprenticeship, never wrote a licensure examination, yet through apprenticeship, President Akufo-Addo is a lawyer today. The reason why the law school doesn't have to administer any licensure examination is because the professional law course that is taught at the Ghana School of Law conforms with international best standards. And the managers of the school, the General Legal Counsel, are sure that once you go through that program and successfully pass your examination, you are fit to practice as a lawyer. That is it. And so after you get your law degree, which we call the LLB from any of the law faculties in Ghana, and you are admitted into the Ghana School of Law to pursue the professional law program, and you pass all your professional law courses, undertake your mandatory internship, you are called to the bar, okay? You then undertake your pupillage and are licensed to practice as a lawyer. And every year, you have to renew that license. So straight away, if anybody tells you that you must write a licensure examination before you can be licensed as a professional, the person is a liar. He is ignorant. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Let me give you another example. Doctors, medical doctors, who I can say have, you know, a very special responsibility to the people, because they deal with issues of health, issues of life and death. Even medical doctors, don't write licensure exams before they get licensed. They don't. They go to school, they go to medical school, and they do what they call the clinical, you know, program, which is classroom teaching and learning. Now, after 3 years, they go for their clinical program, which they do in teaching hospitals. When they are through with that, they write their Part 1 and their Part 2 examinations. Yes, the Medical and Dental Council supervises the conduct of such examination. But the various medical schools set their own examination questions and administer the questions. And once you pass, you are given your degree and you get your license to practice as a medical doctor. That is after you do your housemanship. Just like we do our pupillage, they do their housemanship. That's it. Their housemanship is more or less their national service. Our pupillage is more or less our national service. They don't require lawyers or teachers to do national service. You are given automatic employment and license. So if doctors who have the responsibility of protecting lives don't even go through licensure examination before they are licensed, how much teachers? Then you hear some people say that, oh, but nurses and midwives write licensure examinations. Look, I've checked. What the nurses and midwives do is totally different from what this government is imposing on teacher trainees. Because in the case of teacher trainees, you go to school, complete school, you get awarded with your bachelor's of education, your degree, meaning that you are a qualified teacher. And yet, after you have left school, you are forced to undertake a mandatory 1-year national service. And while at that, after you have left school, required to write a licensure examination. Doc, you get it. But with the nurses and midwives, the licensure examination is part of the academic program. They write it as part of their final year examination while in school. So, until you pass the licensure examination as a nurse, you cannot graduate to become a nurse. You are not a nurse. That's the difference. You understand? So I've cited these practical examples to educate our friends in the NPP that you don't need an examination to license professionals. You don't need that. And the reason why this licensure examination is obnoxious and must be cancelled, as indicated by the flag bearer of the NDC, John Dramani Mahama, is that these teacher trainees today, as we speak in Ghana, today, undertake a 4-year degree program in the various colleges of education. As you may be aware, they are affiliated to various universities like the University of Cape Coast, UCC, University of Education, Winneba, and so on. So they are now pursuing degree program, 4-year degree programs. And do you know the number of courses they undertake? More than 50 courses that they learn and write examination on. More than 50. Because every year has 2 semesters, and every semester has no less than 5 courses. in some cases 8, in some cases 6, in some cases 7, in some cases 4. Every semester. So by the time you complete the 4-year course, you would have sat for not less than 50 examinations. That is not all. What they do is not just classwork. Throughout the 4-year program, there is what they call STS, supporting teaching in schools, which is part of the curriculum for every semester. You will teach practically first semester level 100, second semester level 100. You will do so when you get to level 200 for both semesters, the same for level 300. And then when you get to first semester level 400, they climax the practical learning by requiring the teacher trainees to undertake a full semester internship program. What used to be a 1-year mentorship program is now a full semester internship program, where the teachers, trainees, the students are assigned to various schools, assigned to various mentors. They go to understudy them, and they are taken through the art of teaching, the science of teaching, taught how to prepare lesson notes. They prepare reports in the form of, journals and so on. Supervisors go to these schools to assess the teacher trainees. They come back to school, give a report, and they are assessed again before they pass that course. And when they are done with that first semester of level 400, second semester level 400, you would undertake different courses and write examination again. 50 to 60 courses in all. Doc, and when a child, a student, a young person is able to go through this 4-year program, passing all these examinations, including the internship program. Akufo-Addo and Bawumia come, Akufo-Addo who never sat in a law school class to write examination or to be taught the law, yet is a licensed lawyer, now comes to tell you that, look, you sat in a class for 4 years, you've passed over 50 to 60 courses, you've passed your internship program, yet I don't think you can be a licensed teacher. And to be a licensed teacher, you need to write examination in 3 things: numeracy, literacy, and pedagogy. An examination with no competitive guide. An examination whose marking scheme remains a mystery as we speak today. Even the pass mark is not known. The pass mark is whimsically and capriciously adjusted based on the number of people this government want to deny employment. Because, Doc, in reality, that is what this entire licensure examination is about. It is a ruse, a scam, calculated by the failed Akufo-Addo Bawumia MPP government to deprive qualified teachers employment. They have failed to create vacancies. They have failed to expand educational infrastructure. They don't have the money to employ all the teacher trainee graduates we are churning out from various colleges of education. And so they have come up with this trick of a licensure exam, so that every year, if 50,000 teachers graduate successfully, they will tell you that, no, go and write an exam. If they have money to employ only 10,000 people, they will fail 30,000 people, and only 10,000 people will be told that they have passed. And the situation has gotten so bad that today, people who have completed school for 4 years are sitting home with no jobs, yet they have their bachelors of education. And some of them are compelled to even bribe officials of the National Teaching Council, all in an effort to get a near license. They are sitting home. Yet this is the same government that recruited graduates under their NABCO program, people who have no professional training in teaching. They recruited them and gave them the opportunity to teach our children. NABCO people were teaching our children. Yet those who have gone to colleges of education for 4 years, pass all their courses, 50 to 60 of them, pass their internship, pass the various support teaching in school examinations or assessments, cannot teach. What kind of injustice is this? What kind of injustice is it? All because you want to suppress the numbers. As I speak to you, the last licensure examination, the results are not out. You know why? Majority of the students have passed. They can't employ them if they pass all of them. So they are now thinking of how to fail them. So you know what they say they will do. The pass mark, which according to them has always been 50%, now they want to raise to 70%. Now pass mark is 70%. That's what they want to do, just to fail people. You understand? So we are telling the teacher trainees, the next NDC Mahama government will ensure that once you complete school, there will not be any so-called national service for you. The support teaching you do in the schools and your internship program is your national service. The lawyers don't do national service because our pupillage is our national service. So the doctors don't do national service. Their housemanship is their national. You will not be required to do any mandatory
Sammy, let me ask you
and you will not be required to do any licensure exam. You will be licensed. And whilst you are licensed, temporarily, we'll be looking at your outputs, your performance, how effectively you are teaching, learning outcomes. You understand? Your punctuality, your regularity, how you uphold the ethics of the profession of teaching, your character, the professional development courses you undertake. Those are the conditions that the next NDC Mahama government, inshallah, will consider in licensing teachers.
Okay, so that was what I was going to ask you about, the issue of quality, because people have also raised the issue about quality of teaching and teachers.
Yes.
And some say that the licensing exam is one of the ways of ensuring
Don't we have quack
quality
lawyers in Ghana? So why then? So
quack as in fake or bad?
Okay, so we don't have bad. They are bad professionals in any professional body. So we don't have bad lawyers in Ghana.
All I'm saying is that if there is a question of quality, we ought to also be interested.
Yes, but I'm saying that. But I'm saying that you don't deal with that question of quality with a 2 to 4 hour licensure examination.
So how?
Because we've all gone to school. We know that those who normally do chew and pour to pass examination don't even end up as
so how do you intend
how you do that is simple. President Mahama has said it. That for you to run a 4-year program, administer examination in over 50 courses, and yet say that you don't have confidence in that program, okay, for you to want to administer a licensure examination before you license those who have successfully gone through the program means that you yourself, you know that there is something wrong with the curriculum and the course, teaching, learning, and especially the examination. That is what Professor Jambu has said.
So you're saying,
so we are saying that
what a 4-year program that entails 50 courses cannot do.
Yes.
A 2-year exam cannot
do. So what then is the solution? The solution is for you to reform the academic curriculum for teacher trainees in their schools and make the examination competitive in line with best practices, so that once a teacher successfully passes all his or her courses, you can say for sure that, generally speaking, this will be a good teacher. Just like it pertains to lawyers, just like it pertains to doctors. We know that once you go through this course successfully and pass your examination at Makola, we can say that you will be a good lawyer, because we know that the curriculum, the academic course, what you are taught, and especially the examination, is competitive. If you don't study, if you don't know your law, you can't pass Makola Part 1 and 2. You can't. It is the medical students, their examination, very competitive. Very, and you should see how this, my younger brother is a medical doctor, you should see how they burn the midnight candle just to pass that examination. Very competitive, in line with international standards. And so we can say that even though doctors are in the business of cutting people opening and saving lives, we won't require them to write any licensure examination, because once they go through this program and pass this competitive examination, we are sure of quality assurance. That is it. So what a 4-year program cannot do in terms of quality, a 2 to 4 hour licensure examination cannot do.
All right.
That is the point.
So, Richard, let me come to you. First of all, let's deal with the issue of contradiction.
Yes.
Are you still convinced that President Mahama contradicted himself when he says that he will cancel the licensure examination as against he piloting teacher licensing in 2016? Are the two the same? Has he contradicted himself?
You know, that would be the conclusion of the matter.
Okay.
Based on how you frame it. Okay. But
no, why I asked that question was that when he said when he made the point, he made that promise that when he is successful, he will cancel the licensing examination. We were told, and I've gone through the thing, that he's contradicted himself because he introduced the licensing examination in 2016 and piloted it in 2016. Fact Check Ghana, and I've read through everything, said that yes, there was a teacher licensure program backed by law and everything. It did not include the writing of a licensure examination. And so, per their view, not their view, but with the facts available to them, the issue of licensure examination only came up in 2018 when the law was amended. And so he could not have contradicted himself. That's the first thing I wanted us to clear. Then the issue of whether we should maintain licensing examination or whether it should be scrapped can be dealt with.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so let me go proceed on the tangent Sami went.
Okay.
And I took some very critical notes of what some of the things Sami said.
Okay.
I think Sami is way off course, which is the reason he has to talk plenty to just come to one thing. The issue before us is policy. Policy to attain a certain outcome in education. And so you are minded in that policy space to look at the alternatives that will give you the result you're looking for. And for us, the result is obvious, that we want our children to be prepared, to be given the best of education. And so if you are the policy manager or the government, you want to come up with policies that drive that outcome. And so that's what this is about. And so that if you are making argument to say that, oh, we want to prevent the students from writing the licensure exam, and so therefore it's obnoxious, is unfair. I'm not sure if you are solving problem, you are just patronizing, right? It just sounds to me like you're patronizing, appealing to students who are in training school to say, look, if we come, we'll cancel it so you won't suffer and write exam. Nobody wants to write exam, but you have to write it necessarily because it gives a measure of your competence in something that you're going to be certified for. So this conversation really, that's Sami is gone about, is to say that, oh, teacher training students, we will not have you write, so please vote for us. That's really what he was saying. And for me, is that really useful? Absolutely not. From a policy standpoint, doesn't make any sense. Because why? What is the value of letting them go through without writing licensure exam? Even if you think licensure exam doesn't do anything at all, what is the benefit of letting them go without it if they are not going to be able to deliver the outcome you're looking for?
Are you suggesting that they don't write any exams at all?
No, I'm saying I mentioned licensure exam.
Okay.
Right? What is the value of that? Absolutely nothing. And in this policy construction, senior, you know that not only the students who you are going to examine, okay, in that space, there are the parents of those children who are stakeholders. There are those children themselves who are stakeholders. There is the rest of our society who are stakeholders. And so therefore, when Sami make the analysis and say, oh, doctors, EV doctors who cut people open, don't do licensure exam, that is putting the horse before the cart. Why? Because the teacher must train the doctor. The source of the matter is what we're dealing with. The objective is not to punish anybody, it's not to obstruct anybody, it's not to create any obnoxious regime, it's to invest appropriately to say that, have we done all we have to do to ensure that our teachers are fully fit to go and give the quality we expect? That is the objective of the policy. The policy is not designed to punish anybody. And the interest is not even to spot out who did what or who didn't do what. It is to say that in the end, as a country, as a society, are we giving our children the best education? And anybody should be preoccupied with this. So if the former president says he will cancel it, I want to see what the replacement is, which is the question you ask him after all the ranting Sami did. That's the substance of the matter. The other peripheral matter, which is political, which you say is a populist proposition to say that, oh, when I come, I'll do this just so this constituency can vote for me or this group of people can vote for me. That really is not the substance. And that's what people are referring to as to say that he's somersaulted or flip-flopped. Because what is the objective? Even if yours was not to write exams, right? Even if the proposal, what was piloted under former President John Mahama, is not an exam, the objective is, what is the objective? The objective of that enterprise is to arrive at a certain quality. And has that quality been realized? Have we attained that quality? If we attain that quality, then there will be no need for the review. Unless you want to say that the 2018 review, okay, was designed to reverse, by introducing the licensure exam, was designed to regress quality, which is not the case. So you are engaged in an enterprise to improve outcome, which outcome you have not realized at the time you came to office, so you review to say, how about we do this? And senior, we have to be minded in policy, and Sami needs to avert his mind to that, and maybe the NDC. In policy, there is nothing, there's no right or wrong, but is the best outcome achieved or not, right? So in reviewing a policy, what they were doing may have been found not to give the outcome that is expected to generate the quality you want out of your children. So then you engage in another review to say that, okay, why don't we try this? And this is, any policy person will tell you this.
So let me ask you this question. You operate in the policy space. Take off your political portfolio.
Always taking off.
Now, if you were looking at this whole thing, and it's about quality of teachers or quality of teacher training, okay, and the outcome that you seek is to have quality teachers, and you have 4-year bachelors in education programs run by the most prestigious tertiary institutions in your country. And after 4 years of running 50 courses, practical training in the classrooms, writing all manner of examinations, some people being repeated for failing a certain number of papers, I'm told more than 2 or something. After 4 years, some end up then probably spending more than 4 years to come out with a degree on the basis of whether they were repeated or not. And after all this, these prestigious tertiary institutions in your country issue these persons with a Bachelor of Education certificate. And you say that you're still not satisfied with the quality. In terms of all the things that, if you look at the curriculum for the 4-year training of a teacher, all the things he entails, and they finish, and these reputable universities or tertiary institutions in your country issue these persons with a Bachelor of Education degrees, and you say that you still cannot be sure of the quality of these persons over this 4-year period. So how to ascertain or to ensure their quality is for them to write a 4-hour examination. If you were in the policy space, will this be how you will approach certain issue? That the 4-year thing, with all the things that went through in creating that program, you think that it still does not provide you with quality. But what will provide you with quality is a 4-hour examination after the institutions have given them the certificates.
Yeah, so the thing about it is that there are 2 things there. One, after all these things have been done, certified and all of that, and you go to the market or you go to this classroom and you see that the outcome is not what you want by going through all the rudiments that you went through.
Yes.
If you see that the output is not desirable,
yes,
you have to do something.
Yes.
As a matter of policy,
yes,
you have to do something.
Yes.
And so
that's exactly my question.
Exactly.
Yes.
So I'm saying that. So yes, by all means, you should do something.
Yes.
And now, what I guess the question should be, if the NDC was minded to say that, okay, we'll cancel it. The question would be to ask, not to say that it is obnoxious or it is disturbing the people. That's not to say. They probably can raise the question, what is the review of the licensure exam to ascertain that is adding value to the deficiency you have identified for which reason you introduced it? You get the point?
Should it not rather
no,
be...
what am I saying?
Yeah, okay.
So we are talking strictly about policy, right? So that you say that, okay, well, what was being done is not sufficient. The output is less than desirable. So we want to introduce another measure, which is the licensure exam, to take care of that. The question, the position that you who wants to eliminate that policy, your position of entry should be that has this new level of measure result in better output? That should be where you come from. Then you're having a policy conversation as opposed to a populist recommendation to say, I'm appealing to these people. If you haven't done that, then you are just being populist. Because for me, at this present time, for this conversation to be constructive, is to say that let's do a review of the licensure exam as a policy. Let's do a review of it to see if it has added that value.
So what I was going to ask you was that in the policy space, shouldn't the review rather be that the objective, and I'm sure that we spent months, brought together professionals from everywhere to put together the curriculum for that 4-year program. And there were expected outcomes. Have we interrogated what about that 4-year program that does not give us the outcome that we want?
Exactly. So
is it that interrogation which has told us that we need a 2-hour to 4-hour licensure exam after we have issued people with certificates bearing the names of our reputable institutions, which will guarantee us the quality, or that we think that there are some defects within that 4-year program that we need to go and tackle?
Exactly. So that's rather an advice you should give to the NDC. After you have done, look, because you came and you inherited a system, right? And you realize that system, the output is not desirable. So you introduce a policy to see if you can correct that.
No, that's why I'm asking you.
I will answer the question.
What led to the decision to do a 2 to 4 hour exam?
No, so
and whether that is how you go about things like this.
No, wait. So you come in
because indirectly, what you're saying is that I have no confidence in University of Cape Coast, the BEd certificate that you are awarding to people who you believe have gone through the 4-year training required to qualify a person to teach. I have no confidence in it, and so I need to set another examination outside you after you have issued a certificate to determine whether the people are qualified or not. That's different.
See, that point.
No, that's different from saying that if we look at the output, this is the data, this is the evidence. It appears that there is something, we are not getting the outcomes that we wanted from this our 4-year program. Let us interrogate what is in it, so that at any point in time that we issue a person with a BEd certificate, we know that the person really has gone through and will provide us with the expected outcome.
No problem. So you see, so if I wanted to have a pure policy conversation with you, but let me just go back to what government is doing. You don't necessarily have to, or if you look at this government, what it was doing, looking at the colleges of education curriculum, whatever the teachers are taken through to qualify them sufficiently to be able to teach.
This includes the universities.
Right. So. But I'm just saying, but their program, specific professional program, is one thing you want to review, right? But government had taken the initiative to review curriculum from basic all the way up. Then you are building from the entry, right? Then the ones that are already in the system milling out, you want to at least look at a way you can enhance their quality in terms of output. So the review can come in many ways. And what I want to emphasize is that policy is incremental. You cannot just say that you've come and so the output is not desirable, so you go and take a drastic policy review and say, well, let's just maybe take all those in teacher training college, let's take them back to SHS, right? You cannot do that kind of policy. You get what I'm saying? Because you want to improve quality, you think that the curriculum is not correct, or those in final year should go back to first year, and that you can't do that. But so you take the incremental position to say that, okay, well, given the situation confronting us, what can we do without disrupting the system but yet achieve the outcome we're looking for? Then you make a policy position to say, let's introduce licensure. The objective is what is key. Now, you want to increase the quality, you put that in. Whether or not that is sufficient will be subject to a review. Nobody has that review. The former president doesn't have a review that says the licensure has not added value. To which extent he says that I'll cancel it. On what basis is he cancelling it? Because it's cancelling because he thinks that it's troubling the students? Is he not minded about the quality output? So that even if he seems this not to be sufficient, is he not trying to improve output? For which reason, if you are cancelling it, you will be affecting the quality in terms of bringing us back to where we were before the licensure came. Until you have that fact to say the licensure exam has not added value, you cannot just say by by political statement that when I come, I'll cancel it. That is what people are referring to. That is populist. That's not acceptable. Okay, there must be a basis for that recommendation or that policy statement that is making, and we don't have that. And on the basis of that, I don't think that it is a good recommendation, right? The whole conversation, really, for me, where I get worried is that it's a political season. And people are just making these promises. And that, for me, is dangerous. Because if you are in a process of campaigning and then you want to advance these new policies, it must be based on some data. I agree with you, which is why I was saying that you should give that advice to the NDC, is to say that, okay, well, when we left office, we're doing so and so. They came, they have reviewed and added that. Perhaps we will do our independent review of that process and say that, okay, well, it's not producing the outcome that it intended.
When I listen to government and I listen to the Minister of Education and people at the Ministry of Education, they give us data that suggests that we are getting better outcomes from our students who are sitting examination from the basic to the secondary level than it was when you took over in 2017.
Well, so then you are talking about an entirely different thing. We're talking about specific
policy. You don't get what I'm saying.
I get you what you're saying.
The teachers, when they pass out from school, they are those who teach in the basic and second cycle institutions in Ghana.
But but you see, teaching is a profession. Yes. So you can have an excellent student who has A's in everything, go to teach, right? Go through a teacher training, because he doesn't have the disposition for it, will not be a good teacher.
But how do you assess?
Just bear with me.
Yes.
You understand that? Yes. There are people who are graduating. When we were in secondary school, people from A level who were doing national service with us. A lot of them, they just come and say that, but there are those in there who are really good, and when they teach, you understand. You have that experience where this person is a good teacher, is not. It's a profession. You must have a certain disposition for it. I'm sure that even in their training, they are taught this, I think, part of their training, right? How to be a good teacher. So a person can have A's, students' outcome from SHS can be excellent, but those who are entering that space don't have the disposition for it.
But so how do you assess whether the quality of teaching is right or wrong?
But that is not the conversation the NDC is having. They are just saying by fiat that when we come, we'll cancel it. You and I are having that conversation to think about policy. So this
maybe you are misunderstanding me.
No, hold on.
I am saying that I would speak about quality of teaching and teachers on the basis of outcomes I'm getting from the students. So how do I'm trying to see how I can connect terrible teaching to better student performance. How do I relate the two? If I say that I'm getting better performance from students and I'm using data to demonstrate that, how do I reconcile that with a deteriorating quality of teachers?
Yeah. So, you see, the political conversation the NDC has introduced is not what you're having with me. We're having a policy conversation. Before, my advice, which I want you still to give to the NDC, is that one, before you can stand on a platform as a former president, where our faith in what you say is that what you are saying is in the interest of the country. And so you are saying that based on some data that shows that something happening is not okay. Please, you understand that. Yeah. But if you have gone to say something which is not scientific, which is not based on any data, only because you think that students in teacher training colleges should vote for you because they don't want to write licensure exam, that for me is not correct. That's the issue. But we have moved from that. So we have established that what former President Mahama said was not based on any science, was not based on any research and review of the licensure exam to determine for him that it is not helping, for which reason he will cancel it. Because that cancellation is arbitrary, it's not based on any science and therefore wrong.
Well, the data,
now, the conversation...
the data that the ministry provides and the GS, which tells us that there are improvements, if it's about maths, if it's about English, comprehension and others. Sometimes they give us the age brackets and all those things. If it's about number of people who
just allow me to
I'm coming. If there's about number of people who are passing exams and all that, the percentage and all those things, and that those ones are appreciating, is that not data to suggest that there is really nothing wrong with what we had?
No. That's not sufficient. Well, if we are talking policy, you review the particular policy. You monitor and review the policy. That's where you get evidence of its effectiveness or not. So any other thing peripheral cannot give you a conclusive assessment of that policy. Because what the former president said was specific about licensure exam. I'll cancel it. What assessment has he done to determine it is sufficient or not sufficient on basis of which he's cancelling? He has not done that. So therefore, this conversation, the NDC is in the wrong for it. That's why Sami is talking all about the place, cannot get to a convincing position. Because if you try to satisfy...
So what was the basis for bringing the examination? That's the question I asked you earlier.
I answered that question for you.
Which is what?
So which is to say that
what
the NDC was doing something one day. Their measure, they were piloting. They were monitoring people's punctuality. How does that make somebody professional? I don't know. They are monitoring regularity. How is how that is measuring somebody sufficient to be a good teacher? I don't know. They are monitoring effective teaching. If the person hasn't demonstrated the capacities there, I don't know how that is going to be. But somehow that's what they were using. Then we come in, we say that perhaps that is not sufficient because looking at the outcome, having done what they have done to the point we have come in, we don't see that to be effective. So what do we do? It's not even about right or wrong. It's about outcome. You understand? So the value judgment you are pronouncing on what the NDC is doing. You are saying that, is this helping? Perhaps the result we are seeing, it shows that maybe we should do something more. Okay? There's not
results.
So I'm saying that what the NDC was piloting, was it not a case where something was not working, which was the reason why they want to pilot a new system? Was that the case? Right? And so what they were doing, we also look at the result and say that perhaps we can do something more.
It could be better.
It could be better by doing something more. I mean, I don't understand why this is difficult for anybody to understand. So you are trying to improve a system. Now, you can only come to a point to say that what obtains now is not sufficient. So we should do something else based on some assessment of it. So if you have not, and purely from a policy standpoint, you have to review that policy. And on the basis of the result of that review, then you make a decision to say that we should augment that or maintain. You understand? But if I tell you what the outcome of it, some of the things that are coming from this licensure exam, and the people who are screened out or probably referred to go and polish up, you'll be amazed that as a parent, that if that person is going to teach your child, it is not anything against them. It is for us to ensure that as a society, we are giving the best in terms of training to our children. And so the policy objective is germane. It is not intended to target anybody. It is to give output to our country by training our children well. And that for me is the issue.
Just 1 minute there. Because I think you've completely exposed the hollowness of Rich's submission
I wanted him to.
with your thought-provoking questions. I don't understand policy.
No, I don't understand.
I have a master's degree in economic policy management.
You
have no idea what the policy is. I don't.
You need a laissez-faire answer. Because if what you are going to say,
when I listen to you,
that's why I laugh. It's your strategy.
You are exposing your ignorance in politics. Doc, let me tell you something.
You need to take a laissez-faire example.
Of all the things he has said.
That was crazy.
Of all the things he has said. Doc, of all the things he has said. At least Richard, I sat in the law school. I was taught. I passed all my courses.
I know where you're going to. Just
no, I know.
Leave that.
Even your president.
No, leave that.
You celebrate it.
Leave that. It's okay.
Well, okay. But on a more serious note, of all the things Richard has said, he's not been able to tell you what problem they detected with the teaching system we have in Ghana.
They said they analyzed.
Where's the data? Oh. You analyze a pilot scheme.
Yes.
Based on what? Where's the data?
About.
Where's the data?
It will be unfair.
Where is the data?
Hold on. It will be unfair to ask him to provide that data here.
I'm not saying you should provide it here, but he can refer us to something. A document. When we come, he is fond of always telling you that he will be bringing the document.
I'm just saying that it will be unfair because he didn't know that was what we were going to
I'm saying that because you can talk to those who were in charge of that pilot scheme.
Oh, yeah.
The data showed that our licensing regime, which was based on practical appraisal, effective teaching and so on, was fit for purpose. That is what the data showed. So if they say, he is saying that they came to analyze that data and then came to the conclusion that they needed to do something differently when what we were piloting had not even been implemented. You understand? Then he should refer us to a source of that data.
But the piloting should tell you whether you should go ahead
or not. And I'm saying that we piloted it, not them.
Yes,
but you were not there.
And I'm saying that when we piloted it, we were sure and convinced that based on the pilot outcome.
But you didn't see that.
Our licensing regime was the best. Let me read to you what the Minister for Finance told Parliament at paragraph 635 of the 2016 budget statement.
Yes.
This is under President Mahama. To enforce discipline and professionalism in the teaching career, the ministry, through the National Teaching Council, is piloting the scheme for the registration and licensing of teachers in Shai Usuluku, Upper Menya Krobo, Ejumaku Enyan Esiem, Kasana Nankana East, and Savelugu Nantom districts in accordance with the new teachers licensing policy under Act 778. In fact, it was after this that the government announced that we were going to commence the full implementation of this licensing regime for the 2016-2017 academic year, which graphic published on their front page. You've seen that publication, right?
Yes.
Yes, so if from the pilot we did, the data showed that what we were seeking to do was bad, why were we going to fully implement it? So he doesn't have any data. You see, this thing is not about data or science. It's about common sense. You cannot give a man suffering from running stomach paracetamol and expect it to work. Before you come up with any policy, this is basic, you should know. You must do a diagnosis of the problem that policy is supposed to cure. Dr. Abe told you that if your problem has to do with falling standards, okay, at the teaching front, how did you come to the conclusion that the problem has to do with examination and that the 2 to 4 hour licensure examination can cure that problem? How did you come to that conclusion? What they are implementing, this licensure exam, they never even piloted, and yet he's here, waxing lyrical about policy. No plan, nothing.
Savage. I mean, leave this back.
You, Richard, the teacher who taught you in school, did he write a licensure exam?
What was that? What's the relevance of that?
The teacher who taught you, did he write a licensure exam?
So if
the teacher who taught you,
if standards are falling, we should try to fix it.
Well, standards falling where according to you yourself, the standards are rather getting better. You people, stop lying. You don't have money to employ the teachers and pay them. Just say that.
You go past this.
Stop failing qualified teachers. Dog, you know that some of these teacher trainee graduates who failed the licensure exam at their first attempt and eventually went on to pass, for more than 3 years are sitting home. Some 2 years, some 3 years, they have not been posted. They have now formed an association on posted Qualified Teachers Association. You see,
you're a young man. This
my brother, let me make my point.
It's not everything talk.
You are an old man, Methuselah. Let me make my point. Listen, so this is not about data or science, because the policy you have introduced is flawed ab initio. The policy you introduced was not based on any pilot you did. It was not based on any data, because you can't refer us to one. It was not based on any science, because you can't refer us to one.
Okay.
But the policy does not conform to common sense, because it is seeking to cure a problem that you yourself say is non-existent. You say the standards are getting better. You are saying that learning outcomes are getting better. Doc, is that not what they are telling us?
He's tired of your ranting.
Then number two, we are telling you that if people undertook over 50 to 60 courses and wrote examinations and passed all those examinations, and yet you cannot be sure that all those examinations can give you the quality outcome you're looking for, then how can a 2 to 4 hour licensure examination give you that quality you're looking for?
Is it just another?
This is common sense.
Not another level?
Another level of what?
Yes.
Another level
of checking the competence. Out of all the things that you learned over the 4 years, you really went through it properly. You passed the exams and all that. Let's just let an independent body also certify that.
Okay, so the independent bodies set questions with no guide. Okay, the students, even when they are preparing for the licensure examination, they don't even know how to prepare, because there is no guide. They've never even published an examiner's report. The marking scheme is not known. The pass mark is not known. Then somebody the whole thing is shrouded in opacity. Then somebody whimsically determines that this year the pass mark will be 70%. This year the pass mark will be 60%, just because they want to control the numbers of teacher trainee graduates they have to employ. This is a scam. President Mahama has been very emphatic on this. We are going to cancel it. Even the teacher trainees that he is, maligning, he's saying that the teacher trainees don't want to write licensure examination, as if you are more intelligent than them. I have heard the president of CAC say that, look, if you even want us to write a licensure exam, they are saying that they prefer President Mahama's practical appraisal approach to the licensing. But that even if the government wants them to write a licensure exam, the government should incorporate it as part of their final examination, so that when they are in school, they write it. You understand? Don't let me complete school, then you force me to do 1 year national service, which is alien to our practices in the education sector. You introduce it, you understand, because you don't have jobs for them. Just to buy time, you tell them go and do national service, and you pay a teacher who should be earning 2,000 to 3,000 Ghana cedis, a partly 700 or 800 Ghana cedis. And then when they are done with that, say go and write licensure exam. And the licensure exam, no formula. In the exam, no, whether you have failed, the reasons for which you failed or passed, you don't even know, because they have never published an examiner's report like WAEC does, for you to know what the marking scheme was and why you might have, failed. They've never done that. So they sit in their bedroom, they say, hey, I feel you make your power. Then let's make the pass mark 70%. When your president got 3rd class in economics, if the pass mark was 70%, would he have passed?
All right, okay.
So please, we will cancel it.
No problem.
Finally, I've seen some mischievous media
about this issue
personalities. Yeah, on this issue, go to town with a publication that says that CTAG has kicked against,
What is CTAG?
CTAG is the College of Education Teachers Association of Ghana.
Those are professional teachers.
Yeah, the teachers.
Those who teach the students,
not the teachers.
Okay.
Those who teach. So there's been a publication that they have kicked against the promise to cancel the licensure examination.
I saw a report that saw CTFM.
Yes.
The president of that association was interviewed.
Yes.
And he spoke on behalf of the organization.
Meanwhile, that president who spoke never wrote a licensure examination. But let me tell you why they shouldn't have even published that story with that headline.
Why?
You see, CTAG rejects Mahama's proposal to strip teacher licensure examination. Yes. I have gotten a lot of calls from CTAG. Yes. Members of CTAG who have said, this is not our position, we don't support it. You know why?
But the president has spoken.
Oh, no. Listen, if I'm here speaking for the National Communication, the National Democratic Congress as communication officer, when I'm communicating party position, I'll tell you this is the position of the party. When I tell you this is my personal view, you can't go out there reporting it as the view of the NDC.
Are you suggesting he said
yes, it is his personal view. Listen, Prince Obey Hima, the president of CTAG, in an interview with City News, emphasize the distinct nature of teacher training compared to other professions, highlighting the profound impact that educators can have on entire generations, either positively or negatively. Quotes, in my opinion, it is something that is good and it shouldn't be cancelled. That is CTAC. We have stated that we should implement what we agreed 2 years ago. When we had a conference that the students wanting to enter the teaching profession should be subjected to entrance exams. You understand? So he talks about CTAC's position, which is an entrance exam for those entering teacher training institutions, colleges of education. Then he says that his personal opinion, look at the confusion of thought, is that the exam should not be cancelled. And then a whole, reputable media organization reports this at the position of CTAC. When members of CTAC are saying this is not our position, let's talk about jobs. That is what the youth are interested in.
So I think that let me help Sammy. You see, these things
help me.
It's not everything
the
that
boastful.
No, we all need help.
He rather needs the help.
Richard, no problem. I will accept help.
Richard, if he says there cannot be any
if he says he doesn't need it, you help me.
I'll help you.
You want to help Dr. Abi?
Yes, help me.
You've not answered one question he has asked you this morning. You want to help
Richard,
him?
Eat your pawpaw. He's
baiting you. Dr. Abi is baiting you.
Sammy was talking that lawyers did not write licensure and all of that. It's because what system they have is working. Matter of policy, yes.
Because there are no bad lawyers.
Listen. Please. That's not even true, right? So if what obtained was sufficient, there will be no policy to write licensure exam at all, right? If you are in charge of policy, you solve problem. Like here, I will come to your program. There are a lot of things you have changed because this one is not working. You change this one. This one is not working. You change it. That's how you run a system. So, Sammy, for your information, if the system you have at the law school or the law profession has in Ghana, if it's deemed at any point that that process is not working, that at the end of the day there are more bad lawyers than good lawyers, then they will review it. That's how you do policy. You understand? So it's not as simple, as simplistic as, they will cancel with that. No. So please pay attention to the matter. This is not necessarily just to obtain votes. And that's what the issue is about. We are not interested in that. We want to say that let's build a system that works. So parents who are listening to us should understand that as a government, we are just not interested in, patronizing students who have gone to college of education to become teachers, and so therefore we'll pass them because somebody said they'll cancel. No, we want to make sure that your children in the classrooms are taught by competent people, and what we must do by way of policy to ensure that those people are prepared by the time they get into school to teach your children are adequate and sufficiently prepared. To the student, we are saying to you as a government that as we are interested in what you become. So we want to put before you teachers who we have certified. And if this policy is not doing that, we'll review it. We'll find a way to enhance it. That's the matter.
Review means cancel.
But you see, that's the NDC conundrum. But fortunately, no, stop. Fortunately,
now you know how to review policy.
No, hold on.
Now you know how to review policy.
No, hold on. So is it?
Bow down your head.
That's what you said. No, hold on, man. What you have said is very fantastic. It will only be true if I were NDC. Because I'm not NDC. We don't review a castle. They when they review the castle.
You get serious.
So I mean, come to the table and be open-minded and have a conversation. This talk is
you should get serious.
We'll back shortly.
MTN.
Good afternoon, Mr. Ampedu. Good afternoon, Mr. Asari. How is business doing? My business is collapsing. Why is your business collapsing? I sold my products and services to my clients on credit, and my debtors are not paying their debts. Have you heard of Rosic Consult Limited, a debt recovery company operating in all the 16 regions of Ghana? Not at all. Mr. Ampadu, all you need to do is to now debt recovery managers. You are assured of swift debt recovery. No recovery, no commission. For Rosic Consult Limited, no more write-offs. And we pre-finance the recovery ourselves.
Enjoy the fruits of your labor, they say. But as humans, aging and physical infirmity stands our way of enjoying our mansions and homes. It often becomes challenging, if not impossible, to use our stairways day in, day out. With portable American pneumatic vacuum elevators, PVs, you are assured of unlimited enjoyment of your mansions and homes. It's a self-supported elevator for vertical movement of humans and goods at homes and offices. The original comes in 3 custom-made models with wheelchair accessibility. Call it luxury, but it's a necessary imperative for vertical mobility. Do not let aging or infirmity limit you. Get one for your easy vertical mobility at home. It's affordable and can be installed in just 3 days without modification to your existing building. It's however easier to incorporate it at the construction stage. We also have traditional Fuji elevators and escalators for your high-rise buildings and malls. Why? For free consultation, WhatsApp us on 02035515. Lifts and elevators, the elevator people.
Everybody knows Acrobato, and if you know Acrobato, it means you know M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic. M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic is my pillar. Let's hear what others are saying about M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic. Who will be careful M-Punch one?
Chese na me ankasa me problem na se problem suwum ntina ma wo ho idea ma me papa chese na nya asem ketewa na me coin point no mo hwe me modem no mo hwe bibia na so mo meduro me fire no ene ma won kura mienu hofo kwa na mkwan mu a eba and everything yourself
me ma me no adwodwo eda ho a wontumi nante ene ne ko end point o mama nunu a ene ne ho eden a watimi asori anante.
That's end point for you. Hello. Ohwehwe what che okay a free bra wo di end point what dance am me call you no me Johnson sema na enkoyie e person na maye me nyina na magina sebema na me be fie for there e ho na nyina jaresa. You heard everything. I have secret. M-Punch is my secret. M-Punch Homeopathic Clinic. I'm free.
Discover the perfect blend of quality, modern elegance and affordability with Kingdom Home Real Estate. At Kingdom Home Real Estate, we cater to both local and international clients, offering exceptional housing options in Ebri and Ekropong. Atmosphere, top-notch security, essential amenities such as electricity, water, our strategic access to popular all within a 30-minute drive from Accra. Visit us in Ekropon right after the Latte Junction or in Ebri near the Ebri Girls Senior High School. Alternatively, you can reach us Kingdom Home Real Estate, where your dream home becomes a reality.
Inside Black Star Press Limited, grow inside the invective minds, evolving concepts and the creative trends. The printing press you need now. Witness the beauty, diversity, and natural wonder with our works. Inside Black Star Press Limited, in association with Lionhead Group of Companies. Call us now on 0200-880-000 for all your print works. Black Star Press Limited, a worldwide reputation for quality printing.
For over 20 years of serving the world with herbal and alternative medicine, we've been successful in treating complicated medical conditions with a perfect combination of herbal and alternative methods of treatment like homeopathy, naturopathy, reflexology, and many more. We deliver excellent and effective service to people from all walks of life through scientific and traditional means. We have a well-equipped laboratory with advanced diagnostic and treatment devices to help detect your illness so we know the right medication to be given. At Amen Scientific Herbal and Alternative Medical Hospital, we are proud manufacturers of our own herbal medication.
Our zeal and passion to save lives with our patients at heart and outstanding achievements since 1996 has won us several awards. That is why we say, go herbal, go amen. We are located everywhere in all the regions. Amen Scientific Herbal and Alternative Medical Hospital. Allahu Shafi, God is the He.
To help meet your business and private printing needs successfully, we have just the right products and services. At Appointed Time Printing Limited, we specialize in digital printing, offset printing, packaging and security printing. Our innovative designs and complete professional touch on our print products such as posters, flyers, brochures, magazines, poll cards and any other print solution of your choice ensure that our customers are always happily connected to their audience. With our security printing section, our clients are assured of a highly secured and confidential work process from start to finish. At Appointed Time, our prices are very competitive. Locate us at the old GNTC building near Swansea Shopping Arcade, Accra. Contact us on 0501 454165, 0501 454167. Appointed Time Printing Limited. Our printing is the solution.
We are back bringing you the latest lineup from Betway. Betway starts strong with their front two with Free Play Friday and Swipe Bet. In the middle, you've got all the control with Cash Out and Build a Bet. Plus, with Win Boost, you can boost your sports bet. At the back, they have Smart Picks and the partial daily jackpot.
You always get way more with Betway.
This
advert has been vetted and approved by
Right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, this is Good Morning Ghana. Exciting conversation here on the show. Still with me are Richard Ahiagba and Sammy Jemfi. But what does wealth mean to you? Do you want to live like a tycoon? Remember, as God the Mola, God the Power. Ghana's newest lottery game draws live on Adum TV at 9 a.m., 12 noon and 6 p.m. daily. Now pick up your phones, tablets and computers and download the Game Park Games app on Play Store. You can also play on their website at www.gameparkgames.com or by dialing *946# on all networks. Just choose 4 numbers from 0 to 9. It's easy to play and easy to win. Charlie, make we play this game and make some mola. Nobody beats our odds in Ghana. Game Park Games, more mola, more power. This game is regulated by the National Lottery Authority and it's not for persons under 18. Play responsibly. And charcoal. Yes, I want to talk to you about charcoal. You want to find out the link between charcoal and your teeth? Or dental health. Well, the natural absorptive property of charcoal helps to remove the bacteria that produces bad breath in the mouth, hence giving you a fresh breath. Kel Charcoal toothpaste has been formulated and produced under strict hygienic conditions with all the necessary production protocols and has been approved by the Food and Drugs Authority. Constant use of Kel Charcoal toothpaste gives you a good fresh breath, whiter teeth, reduces dental plaque, makes the gum healthy and strong, prevents cavity, upset stomach, hangover, and so on. Kel Charcoal toothpaste is recommended for adults and children from 6 years. And Kel Charcoal toothpaste is for white teeth and fresh breath all day long. It's another quality product from Samara Company Limited. Kel Charcoal toothpaste, happy smile. And you must always drink Angel Cola. It's your key to enjoyment. Ready for something refreshing, great tasting with excellent flavors, Unia? You've got varieties to choose from. Angel Orange for that special occasion. Angel Mango. Angel Peach, refresh your mood. Angel Apple Lime. Angel Drinks produce vitality and maintain fluid in normal balance. Angel Drinks, refreshing, invigorating, and exciting. Angel Drinks are produced by Adonko Soft Drinks Beverages Limited. And you can reach them on 0244-832286 and 050-787-668. Angel Drinks taste like our day and is recommended for all, including children. And Kingdom Home Real Estate provides quality but affordable housing facilities for sale. Their facilities are located at the serene environment of Ikuapeme, Kropon, and Ebri with the best weather conditions. They're 30 minutes drive from Accra and provide a modern touch of comfort. They provide a high standard security service plus CCTV, standby generators, constant water supply, and electricity. They're surrounded by lovely tourist sites such as Ebri Botanical Gardens, Boti Falls, Safari Valley Resort, etc. All you need to do is to pay 70% upfront and spread the rest over a 2-year period with no interest payment at all. Locate Kingdom Home Real Estate at Ebri, close to the Ebri Girls SHS, and a Kropon right after the Latte Junction. You can call them on 0559-761 144 0555 621 611. You can visit them at www.kingdomhomerealestate.com, and also you can check them out on their Facebook page. Okay, so in the 2020 manifesto of the NDC, they spoke about a 24-hour economy. I'm trying to get the exact page and whatever. In election 2024, on his tour, I think that even in the previous public fora addressed by former President John Mahama, he's raised the issue of a 24-hour economy. However, in the last couple of weeks, I think that has come up again strongly. And after his election as flag bearer of the MPP, in fact, on his first tour outside of Accra, the flag bearer of the MPP had something to say about a 24-hour economy. Let's watch this.
Today, I hear John Mahama has a new idea that he wants a 24-hour economy. I say, I don't know where he got the idea from, but it is not a bright idea. The 24-hour economy cannot be legislated by government. Today, there are many businesses that are already open for 24 hours. Hospitals are open for 24 hours. You can buy electricity 24 hours. But because of digitalization, you can transfer money for 24 hours. You can receive money for 24 hours. There are many chop bars that are open for 24 hours. The police is working for 24 hours. Security services are working for 24 hours. So what is this 24-hour economy that you want to bring? It is purely an issue for any business. If you feel you will make money opening 24 hours, there is no law preventing you from opening. But this is one idea that John Mahama thinks he has brought. It is a bad idea. It is an idea that has not been thought through. It is a bad idea. And so I want you to compare me and John Mahama. Who has the ideas to transform this economy? Who has the ideas? Who has the ideas? Yes. The track record of John Mahama doesn't show innovative thinking. It doesn't show ideas. The track record of Dr. Bawumia is idea after idea after idea after idea after idea. That is the difference. I will, and I tell you, I have my own priorities and I will have my own vision. When I become president, I will bring more ideas, and you will hear about them very soon. Thank you very much. God bless you. God bless our homeland. God bless our homeland, Ghana. Today, I hear John Mahama has a new idea.
All right, so that's the flag bearer of the MPP, Dr. Bawumia, expressing his views on the 24-hour economy. Incidentally, around the same time, the issue of the 24-hour economy is being discussed in London. I just want us to see just snippets of it, and then I'll come back to the studio.
World, and I'm giving you a big title because actually you advise a lot of these companies that are involved in nighttime business, correct?
That's correct, yeah. There's so many sectors that can see growth and possibility in the nighttime economy, the 24-hour economy, and they're all looking for some suggestions and indications as to how they take this forward and grow their business.
I'm struck by the numbers, really. I mean, we push these numbers out sometimes without thinking about them very much, but 1 in 8 jobs, just London now, we're talking about 723,000 workers. That is a big machine.
Absolutely, and it's only going to get bigger. Our research indicates that you're getting towards 800,000 in the next few years, and if the 24-hour economy really takes off, and you look at the indirect jobs that will be created as well, you can get to 1.2 million.
And very big growth in terms of trade figures, in terms of some of the estimates. It can go up another $3–4 billion over the next few years. But let's talk about...
So that's the discussion of a 24-hour economy currently ongoing in the United Kingdom, and this is just for the city of London. But Dr. Nimwe Thompson writes, Bawumia job bars and a 24-hour economy. Says when former president and flag bearer of the NDC, John Dramani Mahama, declared a 24-hour economy as his main strategy for transforming Ghana's development fortunes, his adversaries across the pond probably dismissed it as just another campaign talk. That is until the Secretary General of the Trades Union Congress, Dr. Yauba, an economist, described the strategy as a game changer, and then panic set in across the pond and even inside it. For some crazy reasons, those adversaries reduced the idea of a 24-hour economy to having fun at night. Hence, in the 2024 budget, the finance minister tried to upstage Mr. Mahama by promising everything from a night and sport economy, page 92, to the night economy and tourism, page 92, to the development of Black Star Square into a city light center, to drive the night economy in Accra, and create a welcoming night environment, page 92. And finally, to the use of astroturfs to create vibrant night economies in their host communities, page 93. For the record, the word night appears only once in the 2023 budget in reference to patrols by immigration officers. Not to be outdone by the finance minister, the vice president and the chairman of the economic management team, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, who will be contesting Mr. Mahama in the December 2024 presidential election, reportedly said at a political rally that Mr. Mahama doesn't understand his own policy and that, quote, it does not make sense. He went on to remind his audience that Ghana already has a thriving 24-hour economy, citing hospitals, fuel stations, and job bars. Yes, he did. As proof, he then promised a new vision, complete with a new policy that will transform this country. The news report gave no details about this vision, but his idea of a 24-hour economy beyond the nightlife of the finance minister is about building more job bars across Ghana to ensure the round-the-clock access to fufu or fried rice. Then he's even more rudderless than he has proven in the past 7 years. A 24-hour economy is about more than keeping a few establishments open around the clock or lighted astroturfs at night. It's a multi-dimensional strategy for economic transformation, where businesses that operate during the day are strengthened and conditions are created for others across the country, not just Accra. To rise or thrive in an interconnected world that never sleeps, it's about a country living to its fullest potential, not settling for mediocrity over chop bars. When the idea of a 24-hour was originally proposed in the 40-year National Development Plan, okay, I didn't know this, it was partly to address unemployment from what the plan called the technological upheavals of the future, such as robotics, AI, and 3D printing. That would displace workers in many traditional and high-value sectors. The strategy as laid out in the plan aimed at 3 shifts of 8 hours each and 4 shifts of 6 hours each, depending on a productivity revolution, which was also proposed in the plan. The strategy, which was subsequently incorporated into the NDC's 2020 manifesto, alongside transformative policies like an Employment Act to complement the Labour Act and a jobs program called the Jumapa Good Work, also recognized the availability, dependability, and increased use of electricity, a measure of a growing economy, as a precondition and one of 10 key drivers of a productive 24-hour economy. Specific targets for electricity consumption measured by kilowatt hour per capita were therefore set. And Dr. Bawumia's government inherited more than enough electricity from Mr. Mahama in 2017 to meet those targets. They didn't. Instead, they blame Mr. Mahama for giving Ghana too much electricity, when a real problem was too little economic activity due to the bankrupt economic policies that they initiated the moment they took office, destroying the financial sector and subverting industrial activity. Thus, they missed the critical first-year target. For example, in 2018, the government attained only 452 kilowatt hours per capita instead of the projected 620. And in 2021, it managed 548 instead of 850. It is unlikely they will meet the 1,433 kilowatt hour target for 2025. The consequences of these fatal errors were predictable. Manufacturing growth declined from 14.24% in the first quarter of 2017 to 6.32% in the last quarter of 2019, while electricity used by the economy peaked at 20.82% in the first quarter of 2018 and then plunged to 0.90 in the third quarter of 2019, all before COVID and Ukraine, which are now the whipping boys of their mismanagement. The latest data from the Ghana Statistical Service shows that the economy has still not recovered from the wrong-headed policies of Dr. Bawumia and his team. The manufacturing sector shrunk by 2.5% in the first 3 months of 2023 and by 0.5% in the next 3, inevitably worsening unemployment. His voodoo claim of creating 2.3 million jobs in a collapsing economy will be tackled another time. Significantly, and despite popular perceptions, Mr. Mahama has perhaps the best record of any president, except Kwame Nkrumah, in providing electricity to Ghanaians after inheriting Domso, which had plagued Ghana intermittently since 1983. The following are the average annual growth rates for installed electricity by megawatt under the 4 most recent presidents based on data from the Energy Commission. JAC 1.2% 2001 to 2004, JAC 3.6% 2005 to 2008, JAM 3.7% 2009 to 2012, JDM 15% 2013 to 2016. Nana Akufo-Addo 8.1% 2017-2020, and Nana Akufo-Addo 1.1% 2021-2022. Even Choba, Staflache need electricity, and Dr. Bawumia has woefully failed to provide that. It is doubtful that he will do any better now or ever. That's Dr. Nimue Thompson, and he ends with the Marcus Garvey quote: "What others have done, we can do." Richard, 24-hour economy.
Another populist merchandise put on our discussion table by the former president.
Okay.
Completely not a novelty. It's not an idea that can be wished into place. It's not an original idea. It's an idea that grows on something. And so one will wonder, where is the insertion, or what is the entrance, and on what basis is that coming in? It must come in on the basis of economy, right? So you must have an economy that has a capacity, okay? Then you undertake certain interventions to lead to that, right? So I am at a complete loss when this conversation is not about the economy, because you must have an economy to have a night one. So it's an economic conversation which has to do with production, okay, and the exchange or transaction in the economy. To want to say that let's expand the scope. It's about economic expansion. So it is not an idea you stand on a podium and say, oh, for me, I'll create a night economy. It's a complete, if you like, and I don't know, I don't know how to describe it, but it's just extremely unnecessary idea in the scheme of things, that you have to proceed from a certain premise, then you get to that. What the former president perhaps is avoiding, or perhaps he doesn't have the details at the time to tell us, and then probably just want to signal that he will expand the economy beyond just the regular daylight period, and then make it into the night. That he has a plan to support that, because to have a night economy is not a plan in of itself. It's a plan that is subject to a condition that exists. And so that's why when he made a statement and Dr. Yauba said it was a game changer, I was flabbergasted. I'm looking at what did he understand by what the former president has said to say that it's a game changer. What game is he changing? You must have an economy or before you can be having a conversation like that. So I think that he reacted out of emotion, but he didn't consider the matter very critically. Because if you look at our economy and you're saying that night economy is the game changer, I don't know what you're talking about. And by the way, we'll leave him. I think that I want to say clearly that, you know, it was an emotional response, and so we can spare him that. Otherwise, he should come and tell us what he understood by that, to say that it's a game changer. So that one is not an issue. Where we stand now, Senior,
you're suggesting that the TUC boss didn't understand what he was describing as a game changer?
Yes, because I don't see it. Okay. Because the point is that, what is the game changer he's talking about? What did the former president say to him, which we all heard, that says that to merely say a night economy or night 24-hour economy is a game changer? What? I'm sure he's an economist.
He's an economist.
Yes.
Did you watch the full engagement?
So I want to have the conversation.
Did you watch the full engagement?
Yeah. No, I read the statement.
Because you see, there was a program. They engaged for hours. And so you must have watched the entire engagement to have heard and seen what he heard, on which basis he said what he said.
No problem, no problem. But the point is that he says the 24-hour economy is a game changer. Is that not the essence?
Yes.
That's the essence. And I'm saying that to say a 24-hour is a game changer, for an economist, I don't see where that comes from. But that is not the subject, because really it's not. But anyway, to even invalidate him, and then probably he's been ditched by the former president by saying it's a game changer, and the former president now comes to say that it's a voluntary exercise, tells you that game changer has drowned. Because what is the night economy? Is it a government sector economy that the former president, because he says that the private sector is voluntary for them, right? Which is the case now. Senior, if people are sitting at home and they will watch Good Morning Ghana all day, we can extend the morning, okay, to 11:59, right? We can extend morning to 11:59, but we close before that because we think that we have a certain window where people are watching in the morning. So Good Morning Ghana starts from here to there. We can start Good Morning Ghana at 5:30 if you want to, at 4:30 if you want to. But you know that at that time people are sleeping, they won't watch. So you make the voluntary decision to start it or not to start it, but you pick a time where you know you have your viewers. So the former president has come to tell us that it's voluntary.
So if we were to use Good Morning Ghana, watching Good Morning Ghana is voluntary.
Yeah. So let me finish. Let me finish.
Okay, please go on.
So the point is that the former president has undermined the statement 24-hour economy because now he says that it's voluntary, realizing that it is subject to the opportunities that are out there that as a business person, as a Good Morning Ghana, will open. We can't try to say because we have TV, we have mics before us, we have our workers can sit here, we'll screen our Good Morning Ghana 24/7. No. We'll target when people are watching, and that's when we'll screen the thing. And so that's the issue. Okay, that's exactly the issue. So the former president has now excluded the private sector. Now let's look at the public sector, which he now as the president will mandate that 24-hour economy happens in the public sector, because assuming all the private sector exclude themselves, what he has to control is the public sector. Is that not the case? So the public sector, the police, they operate 24 hours. The military, security service altogether, they operate. Hospitals, they operate 24 hours. What do we call hospitals operate 24 hours. The prisons operate 24 hours. The border control, the customs, they operate 24 hours. Any infrastructure, by definition, that is a necessity that must operate, they operate 24 hours. But see, that does not necessarily lead to them increasing their numbers because they run 24 hours. the amount of people they deploy at night is minimal vis-a-vis what they would deploy in the day, or they shuffle their numbers, right? So they don't deploy 200 or 10 people, let's say the police service across the country in a day. They have in every charge office about 10 people across the country. In the nighttime, they don't have the same number, right? They reduce the number. So the fact that they run 24 hours does not necessarily mean that their numbers, they are just employing or recruiting police like that. Their recruitment is targeted to a certain expectation of production. So they do that. But if for a reason, okay, where Dr. Bawumia was saying that you don't legislate that. If for a reason.
But has the flag bearer of the NDC said he was going to legislate a 24-hour economy?
Has
he ever said that?
But he hasn't said that, but it cannot be implied from what he said, because he's going to be president. And if he made a promise that he will bring 24-hour economy, then he has to come and tell us. Until he tells us, these are the assumptions.
Have we legislated digitalization in Ghana?
No.
Is it legislated?
No, hold on. But you see, those are two different conversations.
Why?
Because digitalization...
Is it not a policy?
It's a policy.
Yes.
But it's a policy...
Must it be legislated before a government can decide that it will vigorously pursue a policy of digitalization?
But you see, it's a policy that...
Is it mandatory for any entity to adopt digitalization? Is it mandatory? Is anybody forced by law?
You are forced by economy to do it.
Yes.
You are forced by competition to do it.
Yes.
But the idea...
But that's not legislation.
No. Yes, it's not legislation.
Yes.
But when the presidential candidate said, when I come, I'll bring a 24-hour economy, you are wondering how. But you have to... don't get too agitated about this. Okay. He must tell us how he's going to do it. Because all of us know there are templates that we have seen.
So ask him.
But he should have told us, because now he's done us the disservice of assuming what is it you are going to. Somebody is here, but I've heard all the NDC people talk about what they think he's going to do, and it doesn't wash. Okay, so now effectively he says that there's no private sector, inclusion, because he says it's voluntary for private sector. That's what he said. So he said it's voluntary. So that's aside. Now, what is not voluntary is the public sector. Because he didn't exclude them. So that one is not voluntary. So assuming he's going to legislate it, what is new he's going to do? The police and all the things that I've mentioned are all already doing that. So it's the civil service that is going to mandate to work 24 hours. Is that what we're looking at? So we make the civil service work 24 hours. So, okay, somebody goes to a civil service, and then from there it has to go somewhere. So everything just stays open 24 hours.
Is there
for what production?
Is there a 24-hour economy anywhere?
See,
anywhere outside Ghana? Is there, first of all, is there a concept called 24-hour economy? Is there something like that?
There's an idea to extend the scope of economies beyond the daylight.
No, you're not answering my question. I'm asking you.
I will answer a question. Don't worry.
24-hour
don't worry. I will answer.
Yes.
If you just allow me,
anywhere.
That will not answer. That you are rushing to the point.
Okay.
And even that what you know exists. I know what you're talking about. Even that is not what former President Mahama is promising, because per his statement, he has excluded what exists somewhere that you are referring to, which is a night economy.
I've not referred to anything.
Well, I know you know. But just wait. I will answer that question. But I'm trying to tell you that we are proceeding with this conversation from a basis where the private sector has been excluded.
Excluded in what way?
The former president says it's voluntary.
Yes.
Okay. So it means that they will have to determine to participate or not. And right now, if he has identified that there is a deficiency which is coming to cure with the 24-hour economy, then it means that the people are making rational decision, okay, out of it, because it doesn't give them the outcome. In terms of demand and supply, the market does not exist for them to run a 24-hour economy. You get what I'm saying? Because,
I don't.
Okay, so a private sector,
yes,
which the former president has excluded, he sees that...
Excluded how?
He says it's voluntary for them. Didn't you hear that statement?
Yes.
Yeah, so it means that before he said the statement, when he made the announcement, he didn't exclude them. He said he wanted to break 24 hours. Now, when you analyze the thing later, I see that you cannot tell me to open my shop when I know that at 9 o'clock, the street where my shop is, people or foot traffic dries out from that place. Who am I opening for? So I will have to make that rational decision to open or not. Okay, so he realized that and said for them it's voluntary. Okay, now what is not voluntary is the public sector, and I want to know what 24-hour economy that does not exist in the public sector that the former president wants to bring.
Okay.
And that one is not there. But I want to show you something.
Please do.
You see, there is this 2013 document that was produced by, I think, the Institute of Economic Affairs.
2013.
I think it's 2013 or 2016, I think, yeah. September 2016 is what I see here. The document actually assesses, you know, Kenya tried to do this, right? They put together a national steering committee on 24-hour economy to assess if, you know, they can implement that.
In Kenya?
In Kenya.
Okay.
Okay.
In 2016?
In 2016.
7 years ago?
Yes.
Okay.
And so that assessment, one of the recommendations were that by 2030, when Kenya achieves advanced economy status, then they may be in a position to implement that, but not now. Now,
what were the reasons that the research identified as the basis for Kenya not ready for a night economy?
I can give you the reports to read, but I'm just saying.
I just wanted to understand so that I can draw parallels.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think this is here. I'll give it to you. I think it's
right.
here.
Okay.
So you see, but this document here is a 2013 document. It's April 4, 2013 document by the Institute of Economic Affairs.
Ghana?
No, Kenya.
2013, 10 years ago.
10 years ago.
Okay.
And they were assessing the night economy or 24-hour economy. I'll read just a few things to you. And I'll give you the document, you can read that. But critical to that is that production is not an end in itself, because what you're talking about night economy, you're saying that there must be some production beyond daylight. And so that production would require inputs such as people, employments to give to people. So production is the key factor if you say night economy. Now it says that production is not an end in itself, but it's undertaken purely to meet a demand that is real. That is, it's not a fanciful demand that exists. So for a majority of businesses and workplaces in Kenya, the constraint is the size of the market, and that cannot be expanded by government declaration of 24-hour economy. And you understand that explanation to mean that the production, you can't just say let's produce, but we must produce on the basis that there's demand. And then if there's not demand, we can't just be producing because we want to. All right? The other thing is that a call for a 24-hour economy suggests that we merely need to add an input such as labor, which was what I was telling you before, into the equation to ensure growth. Okay? That may not be true for an industry where the output and input are finely matched, and therefore an increase of labor or other input means that the added resource do not produce a corresponding amount of benefit. So that at the point in an industry where, like here, where you have two guests and this is your table, okay, you cannot decide that, okay, well, because you want multiple views, you want to bring 4 people, right?
I will have to expand,
exactly,
change my set.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. So
it is possible.
No, the assumption, we're operating on the assumption to say that in an industry where input and output is paired, you cannot make that decision without taking other decisions. So the 24-hour economy cannot be an idea, okay, original to itself. There must be policies that gives it rise. So before you can say you want 4 people, you must expand here before you get to making that decision. That's the point this is saying. So therefore...
No, I must say that I will want multiple views. So I would want to have a panel of 4. The set as I have it cannot sit 4 persons.
Very well.
And so I will change the set to enable me have the multiple panels.
Exactly so.
Yes.
But the former president's announcement does not tell us what set he's changing, that he's changed the set. He just says that I'm bringing a 24-hour economy. And the economics is telling you that before you get to making that decision, you have to change it, because merely by saying you want multiple views so you bring 4 people does not change your set, because your set is fixed at the time.
So why don't you ask the person for the mechanics in achieving it, rather than saying that it is not possible?
But the point is that right now, since after he said it,
yes,
Sami has spoken, people have spoken. They have not said this. They have not said that he's going to build the economy, because really the expansion of the set is the economy. So the proposal, you should ordinarily, that should be the entry point, that we're going to build the economy so much that it will run 24 hours. If you don't add that and say you're bringing 24-hour economy, it's not complete. So we cannot say that the former president is not minded.
Until I read Dr. Nimwe Thompson's statement, were you aware that the issue of the 24-hour economy was part of Ghana's 40-year development plan, and that the mechanics to achieve same are in that document? Are you aware?
But that's not strange. It's not strange.
It's not.
It's not strange.
Okay.
So it's not strange because it is not an idea exclusive to itself, an idea that will grow on something. Because if it was an idea that can come today, they would have done it, not put it in the 40-year plan. They would have started it long time before anything else was done. Because what I'm saying to you, but you see, you don't.
How?
Is
Dr. Bawumia not telling us that he's coming with his own vision and that they should wait? He's coming with policies. Hasn't he been in office for 7 years already?
Yes.
Yes.
But what he said,
every year new things, every time new things come.
No. See that? You know what he said. What he said is that he's an independent person, because as a vice president of the president, the assumption is that that's the campaign the NDC is doing, is to say that, he's coming to continue what President Akufo-Addo is. See the challenges we are in. That's why he's just letting you know. And he said this even when he made his delivery, his acceptance speech, that he is his own man. That's all that means. It doesn't mean anything else.
No.
But even if he says that he's bringing new policies, he has not set that policy. The day he will tell you that policy, he will tell you how that policy will be grounded. But this thing about 24-hour economy is not grounded on anything. And he's a lawyer. He will tell you that in their practice, they say you cannot put something on nothing. What is he putting the 24-hour economy on? It's on nothing. And by the way, Syria, let's not cross the line backward. Let's go forward. Former President Mahama has drawn a line in that 24-hour economy to say that it is voluntary for private sector, which is the case now. The private sector chose not to do night economy.
But apart from taxes and levies, which government policy is mandatory, is legislated and is mandatory, apart from taxes and levies? But what else is?
Wait.
Yeah, what else is?
Let me ask you a question. You don't answer a question, but let me ask you. Why do you think it was necessary for the former president to come back after he made the announcement to say that it's voluntary for private sector?
Because somebody said it cannot be legislated.
Yes. So how is it then going to cause it into being? If he said, I'll bring it, what is he going to do?
But I'm saying, I gave you the example of digitalization. If a government decides that, hold on, if a government decides that, look, we need to, just hold on. If a government decides that there ought to be a policy of digitization and digitalization, and in order to do that, we must provide the infrastructure. And so we are going to invest in fiber optic as a state. That policy, it is not binding on anybody, it's not mandatory. But it is a policy that will engender private sector to take advantage of it, to embark on that part of digitalization.
But he didn't say digitalization. He says, no, senior, please.
I have not said that. He said, why are you pretending you don't understand what I'm saying?
I understood what you were saying.
I just use, you know why I use digitalization.
Yes, but it's not the same.
It is not a policy.
I'm saying that it's not compared to
what. Is it not a policy that the vice president wants to be credited for? Is it not?
Yes.
Is it legislated?
No, necessarily.
So what are we talking
but that is a policy that can stand on its own, because there are infrastructure in the economy that allows for it. Because if you see digitalization, before it, people had problems carrying money up and down. So it solved the problem. Okay?
But infrastructure was created.
Now I'm saying yes. So
there was a vision.
Yes.
And that vision started with the creation of the infrastructure.
Very well.
And people are building on as we're going. The private sector is capitalizing on the provision of that infrastructure.
No problem.
It's not legislated.
But I'm saying that that problem of digitalization as a policy, whether legislated or not, was a problem, or was a gap in the market that it came to fill. Yes. Okay? So if you say 24-hour economy is a gap,
yes,
where is the gap? What gap is it? What gap is it? That your economy has the capacity to run 24/7. Wait, hold on. Your economy has the capacity to run 24/7, but it's been constricted to daylight. Then you would say that, look, we can run 24/7. When you saw the British conversation about 24-hour economy and whatnot, that economy inherently has that capacity.
So
okay, so we don't have that. So when you show up and say that, it can only be a populist recommendation, which should not be taken seriously.
If Vice President Bawumia says that it exists already,
and
he points, it says the 24-hour economy exists already, and he points to institutions that he says are already providing 24-hour service, but that obviously is not widespread. Does it not tell you that it is an economy that has a potential if it is properly planned, strategized, and dealt with? Because in the London conversation that they are having, just as we point to institutions and things that happen 24 hours, it happens in London. There are already 24-hour bank transactions. Hospitals run 24 hours. The security agencies run 24 hours already. Eateries run 24 hours already. Yet they are having a conversation about a 24-hour economy. Does it not tell you that per the existence of all the things that we are talking about, there is a huge potential, and that you need to focus and have a policy to make it work, make it vibrant? Does it not tell you that?
You see, yes. So you start that conversation from the economy. Because the conversation we're having today with an economy is that we need to build the economy. Which you have to build the economy. Ghana's economy requires building. A whole lot of structural reforms are going into it. You have not gotten that economy. And I told you about the Kenya situation. They said that until they achieve an advanced economic status, they cannot implement that. Sydney is doing the same thing. You have that document, right? Sydney is doing the same thing. But they are building on what a structure exists. And they took the city of Sydney because it has the capacity to contain that. We do not have that. So you have to tell us the kind of economy you are going to build to support that. Because 24-hour economy is not something that can drop from the sky. It is something that grows on something. It grows on demand and supply. It grows on production. Where is the production? Where is the policy that will give rise to that production, which then creates disposable income to the extent that people want to run 24/7? What is the inflow of tourism? What is our night infrastructure, night economy infrastructure? What is it like? You understand? And when they talk about night economy, in the Sydney example, they talk specifically about certain things. It has nothing to do with the public sector. Very little. So in the public sector, it talks about hospitals and the rest. But the balance of night economy builds on entertainment, which is private sector, but yet former President Mahama says the private sector is excluded because it's voluntary for them.
But it cannot be compulsory.
Yes, because if it cannot be compulsory,
it sound as if you can legislate these things.
You see, I read this statement to you.
You create an enabling environment. You engender it. You don't legislate it. Where in this world does it happen?
But that is
not even in China and Soviet Union.
But that is not what was said. You are trying to dress it up. And see, after the conversation has been had, I have listened to Sami. I have listened to Eduji. I've listened to many NDC people who have talked about this. They have not dressed up the issue. Former President Mahama can stand on the podium and say the thing. It is incumbent on them to put context to the thing. But they have not brought that context, which is what you are trying to do. The point is that you must build the economy in order to have a 24-hour economy. If you don't have economy, you can't have 24-hour economy. You begin from 8-hour economy to go to 24. You don't have a 24. Let's see your plan of a 24-hour, 8-hour economy. Then you can go to 24.
Sami, you heard Richard. He obviously agrees with his flag bearer. He says that we do not have an economy to build a 24-hour economy. So, as per the economy of Ghana, we cannot have a 24-hour economy.
That's not what we said.
Oh, that's not what you just said.
No. I'm saying that we want the former president's plan for the 8-hour economy. How he's going to sustain an 8-hour economy to go to 24-hour economy. But when you say you are bringing 24-hour economy, it's completely off base, because that 24-hour economy builds on an existing economy.
So we don't have an existing economy?
No. if he's saying that when he becomes president,
yes,
he will bring that.
Yes.
We want to see, because we have a record that he has in this country, that the 8-hour economy under him was abysmal.
Let me understand you.
Yes.
Are you saying that Ghana does not even have an 8-hour economy to build upon and create a 24-hour economy? Is that what you are saying?
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that former President Mahama has a record of economic management in this country, which we deem abysmal, on which basis he was voted out. Now, we want to see what is he going to do with the economy, the 8-hour he couldn't manage. Okay? Then now, not only 8-hour, he's telling us how to manage the 8-hour. He said he's going to bring 24 hours. And we're saying that the 24-hour economy is not independent of itself. It grows on the 8-hour economy. Okay? So before you can get that, you have to expand the 8-hour economy. What is his plan for the 8-hour economy, which we don't have? Anyway, by the way, Dr. Adeboye Thompson is not an objective commentator, just for the point. He's an NDC leaning commentator, and that has to be put in context.
Right.
Well, Dr. Abe,
yes,
it's very obvious that Alhaji Bawumia and our MPP friends are completely dazed by the 24-hour economy policy announced by the visionary nation builder, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. They are worried by the traction the policy has received in recent time. They are worried by the wide acceptability of the policy. And that is why they are desperately jumping over themselves to discredit a policy they have no clue whatsoever about. You see, Doc, it is the French poet Victor Hugo who said that nothing is more powerful than an idea whose time has come. This is the time for Ghana to have a 24-hour economy. That policy has come to stay. And no amount of lies, no amount of deceptive arguments can succeed in hoodwinking Ghanaians to reject this novelty. You see, because they are in a hurry, they are in an indecent haste to criticize this policy, they are contradicting themselves. And you pointed that out. Because in one breath, Alhaji Bawumia says that the 24-hour economy announced by John Mahama is not new. It is already being implemented. In another breath, this same Bawumia says that the policy is a bad idea. In fact, in one of the tapes, he said that the policy doesn't make sense. So question, why is the Akufo-Addo Bawumia government implementing a policy that doesn't make sense? A policy that is a bad idea?
He didn't say they are implementing it. He didn't say they are implementing it.
He says that currently we have a 24-hour economy.
Yeah,
and in fact,
he didn't say they created it, and he didn't say it's a 24-hour economy.
No, if you listen to Dr. Bawumia and all their communicators, I was on Asempa with Kofi Tonto. They are clear that already we have a 24-hour economy. They've even said that that is why you can pay your taxes 24 hours. And that Dr. Bawumia, through digitalization, has made that possible. And today, GRA runs 24/7. And so they are already implementing 24-hour economy. They've said that. And I'm saying that in one breath, you say the policy doesn't make sense. In another breath, you say you're already implementing it. Look, even in the 2024 budget statement, they made an attempt to appropriate this policy, to steal this policy. And what did they do? The finance minister said, created an impression that they were already doing something about a ninth economy. That's how he termed it. And that currently they have established a task force made up of public and private actors, okay, to put in place a ninth economy under a PPP arrangement, public-private partnership arrangement. If I can specifically quote what he said. He said, as we promote December in Ghana initiatives, we will also work towards enhancing security and the lighting infrastructure. A task force comprising public regulators and private sector actors has already been established to drive the 9th Economy Initiative under a public-private partnership arrangement. Yet they say this policy, captured in their own budget, doesn't make sense. Because the stealing has gone bad. They've been caught pants down. Ghanaians know that this 24-hour economy, the fact that we can have businesses and companies operating 3 shifts 24/7, working in the night, is a brainchild of John Mahama. Right on this platform today, Richard Ahiagba has said, when we were discussing the licensure exam matter, he said that there is no good or bad policy. Didn't he say that? And that it depends on the outcome. So, going by his own words, the 24-hour economy has not been implemented. You concede that you don't even know the details of the plan for the policy. Yet you say it doesn't make sense.
But shouldn't you be providing us the details?
So we are getting there. But first of all, we need to show that they are not interested in knowing any details. They are just having sleepless nights about the traction and the goodwill the policy is enjoying. And therefore, as opponents to President Mahama, they must say anything and everything to discredit it. What is this 24-hour economy about? Very, very simple. No country develops by running a 8-hour shift working system. You go to all the advanced countries, there are multiple shifts to ensure productivity and to propel economic growth. We wake up very late in this country, report to work at 8 a.m., sometimes even start work after 9. We go for break by 12 or 1. By 5, we have closed. And we expect to develop as a country. So President Mahama says, we need to come up with innovative ideas that can support and encourage companies and businesses to run multiple shifts and operate 24/7. By doing so, they will be more productive, they will be more efficient, they will be more, competitive, and they will be able to create more jobs for the team on.
But there must be demand. I own a factory.
Yes.
I own a factory.
Yes.
I have a certain demand. And therefore, if I run a 1 shift, I'm able to meet that demand. Why will I decide to add another shift when I will produce and there's no demand for it?
Okay.
Why will I do that?
So the reason why you produce and there will not be any demand for it is because you are not competitive. The cost of your operation is very high. And so it wouldn't make sense for you to have another shift at that high cost unless government intervenes with a deliberate policy that makes the cost of doing business in the night attractive and competitive for you. You understand? And so President Mahama is saying, hold on, let me finish
against imports.
So hold on.
Cheap imports.
Hold on. Let me just use the example you cited as a factory. Already, the demand for Ghana to industrialize already exists. It exists in abundance. Because more than 95% of the things we consume today in Ghana are imported. So the demand is there because we consume it. But we are not able to produce to consume. We rather import. That is what places unbearable pressure on our cedi and causes the cedi to depreciate against its trading, currencies. And so President Mahama is saying that under the next NDC Mahama government, we are going to modernize and mechanize agriculture. For example, if you go to the Bono region, most of them are involved in cashew farming. He says the next NDC government will establish a cashew marketing board. What that cashew marketing board will do will be to support cashew farmers. I'm just using this to illustrate the point to you. With the seedlings, the weedicides, and the other inputs they require to boost production so that they are able to produce more. And he says that when you produce more, you are not just going to export everything in its raw state like we currently do. We export cashew to India in its raw state. No. What we are going to do is that we are going to set up strategic factories, agro-processing factories, that will process the cashew into juice and other things, add value to it for us to export.
But this is not a new conversation.
Hold on. I'll show you the new aspect of
this is not a new conversation.
In fact, this is why we established the EXIM Bank, the Ghana Import and Export Bank, to support exports and to ensure that as a country we increase our forex earnings. So as these, farmers are producing more to feed factories so that we can add value, process and all that before we export, the demand is already there. So what is President Mahama going to do to ensure that these factories will not run an 8-hour shift alone, but will run 24 hours? He says, number one, I will give you relatively cheaper power.
How?
By introducing what is called the time of use tariff. The time of use tariff is the electricity price you pay depending on the day and the time you're using that power. It exists in advanced countries. So smart meters will be installed for all these commercial entities, all these factories, all these manufacturers, and they will be calibrated based on a SCADA system which will say that if you operate off-peak hours, in Ghana, our off-peak hours are the hours between 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. You're operating in the night between 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. The meter reading, the price you will pay per kilowatt hour of electricity you consume is going to be lesser than what you pay for during the day. So businesses will now be motivated to operate multiple shifts. They will now be motivated to operate in the night because I may be paying 100 Ghana cedis per kilowatt of hour of electricity I consume during the day when I operate normally. But in the night, government is giving me an incentive in a form of a time of use electricity tariff, which will make the price I will pay not 100 cedis but 20 cedis.
Would I not
that is an incentive. That's number one.
Would I not rather stop producing during the day?
No,
and produce
because it is a policy. It's a policy that is well tailored. You only benefit if you are running 24/7, and so you cannot beat the system. Right. That is cured. You understand? Again, President Mahama says that under the 24-hour economy, you are not only going to get cheaper power, you are going to get a tax incentive because you are doing a public good. You are running 24/7. You are employing more people, and so the taxes you pay on your operations as a company, as a business, as an industry, as a factory, will be far lower than what you pay during the day. So then it will make sense for businesses to want to operate in the night, because operating in the night will be cheaper. It will make them efficient, productive, and competitive. Number three, President Mahama says, apart from the tax incentives, I am also going to give you that secured and safe environment you require to be able to operate effectively, because security is key in any 24-hour economy. Then even for some businesses, President Mahama is saying that you'll be giving financing support, because for this country to be transformed, for us to see true transformation that creates sustainable, decent paying jobs, look, you need to take a deliberate policy decision to support certain strategic industries. Go to Akomadan and look at the tomato we produce there, which just goes bad because we don't have factories situated there to process the tomato. Go to all across the country, go to the north and look at how the share we produce there go waste. We started some of these things under the NDC Mahama administration. We couldn't finish. Immediately we set up the EXIM Bank, we left office, and today they are giving the EXIM Bank to the likes of Chamawun, to me, and musicians and all that, when it was meant to support production, value addition. And once you are doing that, you are meeting demand. If government puts in place incentives to allow you to operate 24/7, you will operate 24/7. And as we speak today, the reason why this is a novelty is that, Doc, we do not have any incentive, any package for companies and businesses that operate in the night. We don't have any incentive to promote businesses that operate in the night. So all the things I've spoken about, time of use tariff, it is new, it's a novelty. It's John Mahama's idea. Incentives for businesses to operate in the night, it is new. It is not already being done, it is new. The fact that some are already operating in the night doesn't mean that there are incentives and there are programs calculated to encourage and support them to be able to do
when
that.
When are we going to get the policy? The full policy on this?
Hold on, Doc.
Yes.
Apart from the manufacturing sector,
yes.
Doc, President Mahama has spoken about the construction sector.
Okay.
He said that we always have problems with the completion dates, undue delay of government projects and so on. And so for companies that have the construction companies that have the capacity to operate even in the night, why can't government give them tax breaks for their night operations to speed up the completion of such projects? Richard was talking about public institutions. We've spoken about, for example, our ports. Before President Mahama became president, our ports were opening at 8 a.m. and closing at 5. In fact, today it is still the case at Takrady. But as a result of the visionary nation builders policy to expand Tema Port and build what today we call the NPS Port Terminal. Today, the NPS Port Terminal runs 24/7. You can clear your goods round the clock. 24/7. That is a typical example of the 24-hour economy we are talking about. That is state institution. But you go to the same Tema Port, Gapoa is all running 24/7. Why can't we get Gapoa to run 24/7 at Tema and in Takrady? President Mahama built Ghana Gas. It is running 24/7. President Mahama built the Accra Digital Center, which is today the biggest BPO point in Ghana. When we talk about business processing outsourcing center, where young people, well versed in IT, can work for various companies across the globe at within different time zones. From one point in Ghana, you can be working for a company in Japan or China or in the US, it has the capacity to take over 10,000 to 20,000 young people working. President Mahama built that. That's what we are talking about here. We spoke about passport office. Look, today, even though under the NDC Mahama government, under the leadership of Anatete, we digitalize the passport application process, for example. And you can today sit in the confines of your home and right on your phone apply for a passport. Sometimes it takes you 2 to 3 weeks to get a passport. Why? Because those who are supposed to work on the processing of the application come to work at 8, close at 5. Why can't they work round the clock to process more applications and ensure productivity and ensure citizens get better services from the state, ensure that the state gets more revenue? Why can't we do that? These are all public institutions. Yet our friends in the NPP say they have not heard us or President Mahama talk about all these things. They have a listening problem.
They are not convinced about
No, they say they've not heard us speak about these things. They have a listening problem. They've not heard President Mahama talking about cleaning companies collecting rubbish in the night, like it happens in advanced countries where they go to, where they send their children to go to school. They have not heard that. Look, the 24-hour economy is a product of deep innovative thinking. It is not for lazy minds who only care about lying and scamming people for votes like Bawumia to understand. Neither is it for comical minds who are only experts in economic mismanagement to understand. It's for discerning minds to understand. And that is why all discerning minds are embracing the policy. You, Richard Anyagba, here, you are attacking the Secretary General of the Trade Union Congress, who says that this policy is a game changer. Do you know more about employment than the Secretary General of the Trade Union Congress? Only yesterday, the Federation of Labor, because of time I would have read the statement to you, came out with a statement that they accept the 24-hour economy. Federation of Labor. The Chamber for Local Governance, they've issued a statement accordingly. Even chiefs are applauding the policy. And you are cheapening the discourse, reducing it to chop bars operating in the night. Let's ask some commonsensical questions.
We have to go.
Oh no, Doc, he spoke a lot.
We have to go.
Don't say that because he's run away.
No,
but Doc, at least let me conclude. I'm coming. He spoke a lot.
No, we have to go. So,
if you, like you rightly pointed out, if you go to Sydney today,
yes,
they are implementing a 24-hour economy. If you go to London today, they are implementing a 24-hour economy. Now, why is it that London didn't say that to operate a 24-hour economy is by choice? If you think you can make money in the night, operate. Why didn't they say that? Alhaji Bawumia. You see, the poverty of thinking they display is nauseating. Why didn't the governor, the authorities of London and Sydney, which is one of the largest cities in Australia, why didn't they say that hotels and restaurants are already operating 24/7? So we don't need any policy for a 24-hour economy. Why didn't they say that? Why has London introduced a night tube? A night tube, which is supposed to drive their night economy. The night tube is an underground transportation system for London's night economy on Fridays and Saturdays in certain areas. Why did they do that? Why didn't they say that you can't legislate it? Anybody who wants to make money in the night, who thinks they can make money in the night, can operate. So we don't need any policy. You see, these guys are bankrupt in ideas. They don't understand what we are talking about. And that is why after Dr. Bawumia spoke and spoke and spoke, he couldn't state one idea that he has for the young people of this country.
He says he's coming up with
his policy. He's not coming with a policy.
Yeah, they should wait for
Look,
it. Yes.
He stood on a platform and said, under Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, the economy will grow and grow and grow, and there will be jobs and jobs and jobs. Today, where are the jobs? Unemployment is rather on the ascendancy, having increased from 8.4% under John Mahama to 14%. Whether it is NABCO, one district, one factory, and all that, everything has failed. In any case, I wanted you to ask Richard. You were using digitalization as an example. They say their policy for job creation, one of the policies was 1D, 1F. Did they legislate it? Did they legislate it that if you are, because part of the policy was that existing factories could take advantage of 1D, 1F. And that is how they captured Casapreco and the rest.
There was a policy.
Exactly. So did they legislate it? Okay. So it's like saying that you wanted to do 1D, 1F, help businesses, including those already existing, to get cheaper credit. You are not going to legislate it, so it is not a good policy, it's a bad idea. They said they were doing planting for food and jobs for farmers. Did they legislate it? Okay. That every farmer must join.
All right.
You see, they are just making a mockery of themselves.
Thank you.
No, let me just conclude. What I would just say is that the NPP were lucky in 2016 with lies. They would have been perhaps lucky in 2020. They will not be lucky this time around. If there is any politician who has headlined and championed promises that don't make sense, ridiculous, deceptive, and senseless promises, it is Bawumia. Okay. He is the one, and I'll conclude with this in 30 seconds. He is the one, Doc, who said that we don't have to borrow for rules.
Yes.
He is the one who said that in 18 months of an NPP government, no community will have a water or toilet problem. He is the one who promised every constituency $1 million every year. He is the one who promised Zongos $50 million every year, 16 model schools for Zongos. He is the one, a complete scammer. No integrity, no credibility. He has no basis. A trickster. If you don't like the word scammer, a liar. Let me use the word liar. Liar. He is a pathological liar. Bereft of ideas, bereft of credibility, bereft of integrity. He has no basis whatsoever to question John Mahama's capacity or credibility when it comes to the 24-hour economy. Because John Mahama has already done it before, and he can do it again.
Pascal is showing his boss the efficient new technology they've installed. She is pleased, but now she's asking, why is that still there? Pascal explains that he hired a security guard to protect the data shed. The boss is not so pleased anymore. If you haven't upgraded to cloud storage yet, it's time to get business done better with MTN Business.
Televisions, refrigerators, chest freezers, air conditioners, washing machines, smartphones, sound systems, irons, and the kitchen appliances. Beauty set, gas cookers, microwaves, blenders, rice cookers, kettles, air fryers, and even break home. And your Hisense Black Friday promo. Hisense showrooms in Yina. 23rd November, 28th November. And your 5 days. And Rena so say who better the free Hisense ho. Madam Hisense, Matiti so say who? Yes, the 5 years manufacturer defect warranty. Asa tatwo. First come, first serve. So one quantum less hejawa. And you know what? Hisense Black Friday promo way there. And Edu Chem and Shishai Kakra ho. Bibiania for Hisense 0302 550000.
Hello Ghana, KNUSC ISWAM, Republic Welfare Limited, a subsidiary of Republic Bank Ghana, presents Women in Business Conference. Are you a young woman entrepreneur with a small business or medium-scale business? You can't miss this amazing program coming up at Cafe Banua Jowulua Crown on the 30th of November 2023, 9 a.m. sharp. Learn about loan financing, access to loans. All these benefits await you. Don't miss this amazing opportunities. Investment is a cool 1,000 Ghana cedis. Harvest all course materials, coffee break, lunch, networking. See you there.
Yamawakwaba, the button Nadum Auto Fix and Accessories. Ahadie, a bano KSC, see near Wakadia. Ubenya Viviaha. Kabian in the house, any new here. Yansu ye were winning the four, or best son we ye amount. Nadum Auto Fix and Accessories, ye jume did ye. Aye 24/7. Ye CSU engine, brake, battery, yes, a sour tie. Say bano car wash dia. Yawo abefun fidelity say steamer ye the whole car engine abra nsuo nko engine nim ye san ye detailing metre say ye betwetwu car no mu ba bia ma o ye wi a ya san polish car na ma o kama enye we no nko ye san to car batteries tires rims any de keke kan Manadum Auto Fix and Accessories ema o car ensi ne dedem na nwu adwuma ma o hwehwe ye chira kwan wodansoma na sorry dan ho a ene KFC bon hwanimu e won kran se wo information anansem bi se bia Fresh 024 651 9369. Nadum Auto Fix and Accessories. So young papa.
Discover the perfect blend of quality, modern elegance, and affordability with Kingdom Home Real Estate. At Kingdom Home Real Estate, we cater to both local and international clients, offering exceptional housing options in Ebri and Ikropong. Our properties are conveniently located, providing a tranquil atmosphere, top-notch security, and essential amenities such as electricity, water, and backup generators. Our strategic locations offer easy access to popular tourist destinations, all within a 30-minute drive from Accra. Visit us in Ikropong right after the Latte Junction or in Ebri near the Ebri Girls Senior High School. Alternatively, you can reach us Kingdom Home Real Estate, where your dream home becomes a reality.